Poor and gaming with me counts as an act of contrition.
Okay.
But you have to apologize first.
Wait, doesn't Les have to fast for 24 hours first, or at least through the daytime hours?
Too late for that.
Oh, okay.
I made some homemade chicken fingers.
No, he just has to eat fish or something.
For
the record, I fast every day, sometimes hours at a time.
That's Lent.
Well, he's got a Lent roller for that.
Thankfully, I'm not a very spiritual guy.
My boss showed us her ability to blow the ram's horn. I'm forgetting the name.
Shofar.
Thank you, the shofar. She was very proud of her shofar abilities. It was pretty impressive sounding. Of course, as soon as I heard that, I heard Helm's Deep horn. That's what I heard.
I'm going to call my shofar to pick me up if the conversation doesn't get better.
Whoa!
Well, happy Yom Kippur, to you guys.
I don't know if it's appropriate to say happy.
You would say good. Well, if you want the Yiddish version, it's good.
Good Yontif.
Good Yontif.
All right.
Members of the tribe here.
Well, officially MOT, but I'm the archetypal New York City secular Jew.
Yeah.
There you go.
As was my father.
Yeah.
He was the biggest. He was the biggest lover of Christmas that you'd ever met in his life.
Yeah.
What we called in our house the Hanukkah bush.
Oh yeah.
It's the Hanukkah bush. We cavorted about it naked. Yes, it was.
And then came Festivus.
Glad I didn't see that.
And then came Festivus, the airing of the grievances.
Beats of strength. That was always my specialty.
Festivus, the holiday for the rest of us.
Yes.
So we're still waiting on Dan and Eric. I'm gonna forward them a quick email and ask them where the frick they are.
Or they're out the airlock, just like
In honor of Michael Hogan, where the frack they are.
Where the frack they are. Did he pass?
No. He's and in fact they raised the 300,000.
Oh, did they? Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, I donated a little bit.
Good. Thanks. It was just
No, I'm glad you posted it.
I don't know.
One of my favorite shows of all time, and he was.
BSG is awesome.
He was great,
he was great, and he had quite the turn of character too. Like, wait, what am I? Like,
yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What are you kidding? I dressed as him. So Don will remember this. We were at DICON here in St. Louis and talking about cosplay and stuff like that. And I think I said I was going to dress up as like Uncle Fester from the Addams Family, and I had one time dressed up as Vlad the Impaler, which I really got the good word of mouth on that one. But they said you look exactly like Colonel Ty.
You just need an eye patch and a little scar.
Yeah. So I've got to see if I can find the picture. So I did. I have the full regalia, all the pins and everything. So he was my guy.
Josh, if you've never seen it, you should see Les in the early '80s. He's got this magnificent mullet and this Fu Manchu mustache that's just to die for.
There you go. So
I understand that was Photoshop. That Les was perfectly bald back then, and they Photoshopped hair on him because.
You can tell he had real hair because he still has the ghost mullet. Because he'll occasionally flick his head like this to wave the ghost locks back. Yeah,
Les did like to toss his mane.
Yeah, but Les,
ladies.
Would you have the tonsure like me if you let your hair grow?
Yeah, I would actually. I mostly just have a giant forehead, but I just say it. So I can't find if I find the real picture, I'll send it to you. But here's.
Don't send us any of your nudes accidentally.
Too late for that.
I can sell them, please.
Here's me getting ready.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
So you can see this is in my So the eye patch. It looked pretty good.
Was the eye patch brown? I forgot that.
Yeah, it was like that pale leather color.
Yep.
In the original series, Colonel Ty was African American, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
So here's pre-patch.
There we go, pre-patch. I forgot he didn't. Did he lose it on the planet? Like when they got
the Cylon guards plucked it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So always fun. What was that?
And his crazy bitch of a wife in the show.
Yeah. Always like
So that's one thing I like about The Expanse. They brought back the sucking people out of airlocks back with a vengeance. Everybody and their mother gets thrown out the airlock sooner or later in The Expanse.
In The Expanse, you're talking about Expanse is great. Have you read the books, Matt?
You went full Decepticon there. What did you?
I said, have you read all of the Expanse books?
No. I've been sitting on them waiting.
They're great. You should really read them. They're superb.
I bought the first one on your recommendation, Josh.
No, you did. How'd you enjoy it, Les?
I haven't read it yet. It's still waiting in my queue.
You bought it. Okay.
But Les, you know what dropped yesterday? The new Bobaverse too.
Really?
The Heaven's River. So we go the search for a Homer, or I forget what it is. One of the deep space ones.
I like that Bobaverse one. It started out slow, and I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to be into this, and then all of a sudden it went to 11.
Yeah. I recently watched somebody go Bobaverse. You know, he had brain surgery, had removed a big tumor, so he came back as slightly a different person. You know, like everything about him, he has all the same memories and whatnot, but his personality is certainly different than
Really?
Before the surgery. Oh yeah.
They
said that could happen. They think his brainwaves are different.
For the better or worse.
Yeah. It depends on who you ask. This is a man who has multiple PhDs and is pretty serious person. And now he's much more affectionate and friendly, very talkative, where he's pretty stoic before because he's busy doing stuff. Now he just wants to chat. He has no filter now.
Don't shed on the carpet.
He's very sweet.
I wonder how much of that though was due to the tumor and whatever it did, and how much of that is due to him almost dying and like wanting to maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This week is radiation and chemo, so that starts, and that's no fun for anybody.
I assume that he's a good friend of yours.
He's a family. He's my now, I guess you call him stepfather. Yeah, my mom got remarried. Yeah, they've been together since '94, but they got married the night before his surgery. So he wanted to make an honest woman, just in case.
There you go. Yeah. No, I mean that's what I say now to my.
But yeah,
having been married twice before, I won't get married again unless it's related to the will.
Inheritance.
Inheritance. Yeah.
Wait, you'll only get married if it's a relative?
Yeah, only relatives. Only a first cousin or sister.
Yes.
Amen.
Yeah, got to keep that wealth in the family, Rothschild style.
Hey, you know what? Just like the Targaryens.
There you go.
That's right. I mean, those dragons aren't going to pass themselves down.
I've been hiding that dragon egg just for the right occasion. It wasn't easy impregnating that dragon.
Could imagine not.
Oh yes, it was.
Wait, are we started recording yet?
Getting it all
I disavow all part of this
it.
conversation of.
Hey,
Hello,
there.
Mr. Stone.
Hey, Jeff, how are you?
What's going on, bud?
I just got the kid to sleep, and sorry I'm a bit late.
No worries. Dan's having some problem with his internet, apparently.
We were just talking about Judaism, impregnating dragons,
And
brain
being
cancer,
contrite about it.
Yeah.
brain cancer, and being contrite. So the usual.
Okay. Great to see you all.
Oh, and Colonel Ty. How can we forget Colonel Ty?
Colonel, yeah, I hope he's okay. It sounds
hey
like
guys,
he's.
can you hear me?
There he is,
Sure.
Dan-O.
Yeah.
Can't seem to get video to work, but at least I got audio working.
Is that the whole crew?
I would just like to ask
That's
everyone's
everybody.
forgiveness for all the bad jokes I've made over the years.
You don't need mine. I haven't heard most of them.
And we
Oh,
enjoyed the
just
rap,
you wait.
so-
They repeat.
Well, of course, I can't find that photo, so I'm not going to even look.
Just save it for us. Bring it out.
I'll
Trot it out
find
when
it.
you're
I'll
ready.
find it and I'll send it out to everybody. But yeah, no, I dressed as Saul Ty and I looked the part, man. I looked pretty good. And I was crabby. I also have a Colonel Ty T-shirt that says something like "Frack, where's the whiskey" or something like that. So very cool.
Was he been working the last few years? I don't remember seeing him anything else recently.
If you check his IMDb, he works like constantly. But since
He looks like Bruce Stern's little brother.
He does kind of look like Bruce Dern. He does a lot of conventions, and that's where his accident happened. I guess he fell like at dinner after he had been at a convention, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a friend of mine actually a fellow member of the LA Tri Club. I was a triathlete for years, and this guy was actually had a business as a triathlete coach, and was at a meeting of the leadership of the LA Tri Club. Went into the bathroom, didn't come out. They went looking for him like 20 minutes later. Half an hour later, he was collapsed on the floor, blood coming out of his nose, and he's been brain damaged ever since.
What happened?
Yeah, they don't know. I mean, at first they thought, like maybe he got attacked or something, but there was nothing on, there was no evidence on any
Camera or
any
anything.
camera or anything like that. Any video. I mean, these things just happen. It's like he must have had some kind of seizure or something like that, and fell and hit his head hard. And yeah, it was really sad. The guy was 32 or something.
That's horrible.
Yike.
Yeah,
I had some.
And that was 13 years ago now, something like that, 12 years ago, and he's semi-functional at this point, but he still needs a lot of care.
Oh man.
Amazingly, though, he got himself physically, so with support, he can like walk the run in a triathlon, that kind of thing.
Oh, no kidding.
Okay.
Kind of stuff, yeah.
He still can do the sort of thing that he likes to do.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah,
I had when it's some of those when you talk about like just like collapsing or falling. I had the stomach flu real bad for a week at work, and I came back and I was still apparently pretty dehydrated. And I stood up too fast, and I had what the doctors called a vasovagal response, where it was just lights out. And I woke up on the ground looking up at people standing around me going, "Are you okay? Because you hit your head really hard when you fell."
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, "Okay."
Did you feel it?
No, I didn't feel a thing. They got me up in a chair and I passed out again. It was like everything sounded like I was at the bottom of a well.
Oh,
And I passed out again, and so they were like,
Yeah, when your blood pressure drops precipitously, right?
yeah, and they were like, guess who's going to the hospital? Everybody who's not going to the hospital, stand up. Not so fast, Les.
Yeah. Les, I have to know, were you dressed in your usual suit and tie?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I got to the hospital. They put me in the cardiac unit because I'm a gentleman of a certain maturity, and so I spent 2 days in the cardiac unit, and they were like, "You're fine. Get out."
Get out. It's bed for real patients.
Yeah, you were probably really badly dehydrated from.
I was, yeah. They put me on an IV bag and they made me stay for a couple of days, and
that can happen.
Pneumonia.
Yeah.
that's sludge for blood.
Les and I work in the same industry, so he shows up at my office once in a while when we're working together, and we're all dressed business casual, and he's full to the nines. You could wear spats still. You would totally wear spats. So people are like, "Who is that?" I'm like, and I was like, "Well, that's my actuary, or that's my lawyer, or that's my mob accountant." And all of that completely.
I've had a bunch of talks because I'm in the tech world myself. So so we've talked about various things related to his work. And Matt, I forget, where do you live? Are you also out in that area too?
No, I work in New York. Or I work in the city.
So you're in New Jersey. You live in Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey. Yeah, I live in Bordentown, right, which is equidistant between Philly and New York.
Yep. Well, at some point when it's safe, we'll get together and have a drink or some coffee or something.
See you in 2032.
There you go. No, I'm thinking 2022. Year and a half.
I want the Geordie LaForge visors by then,
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, look, if you do it outside, socially distanced, and everybody's wearing masks, the odds are very, very small.
I don't know. Maybe we could get less. Maybe we can take them to the Lovecrafts.
We'll take them to Lovecraft's down on what is that, on B?
Yeah, B. It's over in Alphabet City, but they serve death in the afternoon, which is champagne and absinthe.
There you go.
Oh man, we had Matt and I were in Lovecraft, so we were the only people in there because there had been some sort of apartment explosion like 2 blocks away.
Oh yeah, I remember that was just a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, so everybody had been evacuated, but we didn't know about it, so we were just like clocking it. It was just him and I and this like very serious Ukrainian waitress, and we were drinking deaths in the afternoon, absinthe and champagne, and
a huge plate of tater tots. That's how we roll.
Tater tots,
just like H.P. Lovecraft.
And all these people are standing there thinking about the people who just died a block away.
Yeah, no kidding. We're just like, hello. We had no idea. So, but that was a great time. I still have pictures of that somewhere. Where,
Ukrainian waitress, the bartender, you Americans.
you Americans
So-
are very funny.
You think you're funny? No. I mean, Les and I are bringing down the comedy. I mean, these are class A jokes. Nothing.
That's
Nothing
crazy.
flying out here.
Zero play.
Well, was it a man or a woman, the server?
A very tall blonde woman.
A very imposing
She
Ukrainian woman.
probably thought you were trying to hit him, which you were.
No. It was all just good-natured
All in good
Bon
fun.
Howard.
All in good fun.
Much like my character here, Weber Jix. I'm just all about the banter in the bar.
Speaking of Weber Jix, who is probably recovering from a little bit of PTSD after having been just through a huge gunfight in Bill's pub. We come back, so we start right after that gunfight. I think last time you guys
we're in the midst of talking to the cops.
right. So you've got Bill. I have to check now.
This is one of the first times I haven't been shot. I'm ecstatic.
Bill Numberless, Stacy Frogs, and a guy named, excuse me, I got a thing here. Sorry, I'm having a moment. A guy named Jaka something. Jaka Mach.
Jaka Khan.
Jaka Khan, yeah.
Isn't it first?
Zar Jana Man.
The one that I'm talking to.
The one that you're talking to. And
Real
so Zarjana, you are quick to notice, is a Kazinti. And so probably the first one that you guys have seen, certainly the first one that you guys have seen here. Here's what he looks like. Very imposing and not at all prone to nonsense, much like the Ukrainian waitress at Lovecraft's. So basically, there's a fair amount of bodies here. Kykbandirz high-footed it out of here, but right now everything is sort of like in cleanup mode. You know, the detectives are asking you guys questions. You know, they're basically saying what happened here. As you guys, the rest of you guys learn, you know, the general, what's his last name?
Hey?
Jazz. What's his last name?
Prozhinkin.
Krasinjin, General Krasinjin is known to the detective squad. And they treat him very cordially. They're treating you guys cordially, but it's obviously sort of like what happened here. It's very businesslike. But you know, the general goes up to Bill Numberless and is like, "Detectives, good to see you again." And frankly, the lead detective is talking mostly to the general, whereas the other two are sort of interviewing you guys. This goes on for a little while as these guys, you know, try to get to the bottom of it. They're, frankly, they examine some of the bodies, and you know, frankly, what I think interestingly, you see that they seem to be much more interested in the fact that this particular attack seemed to be focused on you guys, and two, that they had the sort of intellectual and technical wherewithal to drop an EMP grenade in there beforehand to knock out all of the AV, to knock out all of the, you know, the shot spotter material, all that kind of stuff. These are the acts of a coordinated plan.
I don't remember, but the first call I made as soon as we popped out was Scaramouche.
Yeah, and he's on the way too. He hasn't arrived yet. He does show up a little later and comes to you, Weber, and he's like, "Hey, look," and he talks very briefly to Bill Numberless, and basically it's not long after that you guys are cleared to leave. I
give him I don't know what happened.
Well, so he's like, "Look, I don't know what happened either. We're gonna get to the bottom of it." He's like, "Do you know the general? How do you know?"
Yeah, we're friends from like 5 minutes ago.
We go
All
way
right.
back.
Well, he's like,
I'm just playing it. Who was it that I knew? Who was sort of the young pup? Remember?
Captain Black.
Yeah.
Captain Black.
Yeah. Captain.
The mysterious Dan, mysterious man in black over there.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, I explained, you know.
Every one of us is ex-military, right?
Was a young friend of mine and a mentee when. You know, I was on his naval ships on a couple of occasions when he was just an ensign. And, you know, I happened to notice him coming in, and then all of a sudden I see these guys looking to start kidnapping, killing people, and I figured I got to put a stop to this. And then I pulled the detective over to the side,
Mm-hmm.
whisper in his ear, and here you go.
So yeah, once Scaramouche
I
arrives,
continue to drink scotch.
Yeah.
I liberated a bottle,
Scotch.
as a tip for my good deeds of the day.
So yeah, basically it takes a little while, and frankly, these things always take longer than you expect. But after a while, Numberless and Scaramouche come over and say, "Hey, okay, look, we've gotten enough information. We've gotten a fair amount of information here. We're going to need you to stay at Greenport in case something else comes up. They take that the one of the soldiers, the one that surrendered to.
Don't we have someone getting away right now?
Well, yeah. So, but I mean, it's been a couple hours.
Yeah, we're not the posse here. We're the victim. We're the aggrieved victims.
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys are the victims. So yeah, Kykbandirz took off.
I need to go to med lab.
Yeah, well, we got to track him down.
All
We
right.
also just a reminder for everybody except the general here who wasn't in this thing. There's also an escapee from our ship that
Right.
spoon marks all over her face that would be hard to explain when she appears.
All right,
No,
so
she
after
came
this,
that way.
basically Scaramouche is like, look, I got to look into this because there was an Ursay involved, and they take Gazi into custody as well. Gazi and Thaddeus, and they take them. We're gonna interview them over the next several hours. And Scaramouche is like, I'll get back to you guys. Just don't try not to get any more gunfights. While you're on ship, please, thank you. And everybody sort of takes off.
Hey, lad.
Scaramouche says something to the general, sort of surreptitiously. You're not entirely sure what that's about, but then they depart.
Hey, Les, the representative from the Spoculon Corporation, is she still around?
She takes off quite a bit. She says to you guys, I actually have to report this in. Thank you for saving my life and everything. And we'll be in touch. But I have to get this back to headquarters.
Okay.
So she's like, I'm going to be on Greenport. I'll be on Greenport for a couple of days.
Okay.
All right. But in the meantime, you guys sit in here in Bill's Pub, have a couple of another scotch or so, and try to figure out what to do next.
Okay. Coffin is probably by this time lying down on the ground. He's probably bleeding badly. He has been shotgunned real good.
So you would have been. Oh, yeah, that's right. You were injured. So anybody that was injured would have been taken. And I think Tam has been injured as well.
Yeah, I got hit, but just my armor stopped most of it, so it wasn't much damage, and I have implants that heal me. So
nice, good for you.
Yeah.
So Doyle and Tam would have been taken to the nearest infirmary, the nearest med center for patch up. So you guys are gone. The rest of you at the hospital getting patched up. It'll be a couple of hours to a day or so. Shotgun blasts is not something that is. You might have to go do some minor surgery to get patched up. I forgot about that. I'm glad you brought it up. So so it's not, so a little while of time passes. Is there anything that you guys want to do before I tell you what happens next?
Yeah, I want to have a conversation. I want to have a conversation with Jet and get brought up to speed if they know why these guys came after.
Okay. You guys want to brief him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
glad I could be of help, guys, but I didn't expect a gunfight to mess up my business deal.
Absolutely.
So gotta let me know.
Wait, how could you not expect a gunfight to mess that up?
Or should I say, I didn't expect a gunfight
Okay.
at the same time as I was trying to do.
That's a difference. Okay, there you go.
So yeah, Josh, we would just fill your character in. I don't know how much Les told you about what we've been up to so far.
Yeah, he did. He told me about he gave me the general details about their kidnapping scientists and trying to upgrade their upgrade their technology.
Exactly.
Yeah, something like
And
that.
We don't necessarily know why they've shown such an interest in us, other than we figured revenge at first because we got that scientist back. But they seem a little more aggressive than that, to be honest. Like there might be more going on here than meets the eye.
Got it. And do you know the guy who escaped?
If I remember correctly, like he's just been involved
an interesting
in
question.
a couple of these ambushes, right?
Well, so
He have it in for us.
You guys originally met him when you tried to, when you pretended to deliver the frozen scientist here. Remember, you guys tried to sort of.
We should explain to the general that we're in a shade of gray where we're the good guys, so we didn't actually sell the frozen dead guy, but we didn't go to the authorities either. We planned to rob them and then give away the good guy to the proper authorities. Is that right, guys?
Yeah, that wraps it.
Yeah. We have a line we would not cross.
We haven't gotten to it yet.
Flexible. Yeah, we haven't found it yet, but
Yeah,
maybe.
we're okay with robbing criminals.
Do you know who the guy is? Do you know his
He's an
actual name?
Ursay.
You just know he's an Ursay, so you don't
Yeah,
actually.
we know he's an Ursay, and we know that he's involved in all the kidnapping, but that's
You
really
don't know that his name is Kykbandirz.
No, we do.
Well, we do know that.
Okay.
I don't know why we know that, but
That's
we
a
know
name
know nothing
we
beyond.
learned early on. We learned after the when Eric and I were ambushed. I think it's the first time we heard Kykbandirz's name when Scaramouche was telling us maybe who this guy was, who the Ursay that we whacked were.
So you give me the details, unless I know a guy.
Okay.
I know a guy, so I sort of walk off and use my what do you call it? God, why am I blanking? My neural lace to reach out.
Okay. Tell me about the guy. So you're enacting the I know a guy rule.
Yeah. So,
What's the guy's name?
I have to tell you. I have to tell you privately.
Okay.
All right. So I'll just GM whisper.
Well, so now wait a second. Can they see that?
Whisper. You can see.
Yeah, they can
GM
see
Whisper,
it
we're not seeing the GM screen right now, so no.
I'm sharing. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Right. This one.
Oh,
Yeah.
if you're sharing your screen, that is the GM screen.
Yeah. They
If
will see it.
All right. So stop sharing the GM screen.
There. I've shrunk my
It'll still
GM
show.
screen. I'm
Here,
not.
I'll tell you
looking
what. I'll tell you what. I'll do it this way.
Les, if you enable Whisper in
There you
Zoom,
go. That
we
works.
can talk to just you in chat.
Nah, it's good now. He can do it and won't record. All right, so you know a guy. So the rules about you know a guy, as you may have read, is he becomes a fully fledged NPC. You name him, but like Han Solo and Lando Calrissian, you're not 100% sure what his reaction is going to be the first time that you run into him. So at that point, when you either talk to him or meet with this person, you have to roll sort of a charm check of some sort, and based in the new NPC's reaction is based on that roll.
Okay. But this is somebody that I know well, so you'll see why.
Okay.
One of my.
Yeah. Han knew Lando Calrissian well also, but
Yeah, it's a little different situation. You guys just can't know what it is. So.
All right, so you guys are surprised actually how quickly Bill's Pub gets back in operation after this. Again, it's a pub that in large part is automated. So you guys are able to sort of like you see like robotic cleaners come out
after the robots all boot themselves again.
Yeah, they all reboot, and it's back to business really. And you guys are able to sort of talk. So, Dan, you essentially are briefing Josh, his character, and say, look. How much? I mean, I guess I can't say how much do you leave out, but there's probably some portions that you want to leave out. But yeah, so I'm assuming you tell him about the first time that you ran into Kykbandirz, which was when he was at the head of this group of people who were trying to take receipt of a cryogenically frozen scientist that had been kidnapped from the Spofulum Corporation.
Yes. I would tell him that. I would tell him that we grabbed one of the bad guys and questioned her for a while before letting her go.
Okay.
And then say that, you know, since then there's been these other two pieces. I think I would probably look towards Weber and try to gauge his body language as to how much we would or wouldn't say about Palmer.
Yeah. So I mean, Weber,
For Scaramouche, I'm gonna go ahead. Russ.
Are you going to talk about Palmer and what's happening there? And
with the general, or
yeah, to sort of brief the general on that sort of stuff.
Well, let's see. I mean, I think we're a pretty close little unit here, but I think the general's done us a favor, and we want to at least have we had a little business with a friend of ours.
Got your message,
trouble.
Josh.
You had a little trouble with some here-to-unknown criminals, but they were highly sophisticated in their attack, and maybe a man like you might have some contacts in a realm that we, as lowly, space-going merchants, you don't have. So maybe I could leave some details with you. Not name all the names, but maybe you might know somebody who knows somebody who might be able to help us. There can't be that many.
I've heard a little bit through the grapevine that there are some issues going around with these Ersted, and you don't worry, I've already put out some feelers. So if I find anything that's relevant to you, I promise I'll let you know.
Yeah, and at least, I mean, I can talk to Don. Are you still here, or Dan, or Captain Black, or who's still in the room here?
Yeah, Captain Black.
Actually, no, I'm at the infirmary.
Tam and Doyle are at the infirmary getting stitched up.
There are basically two different storylines going on here, or three maybe. But we have one where our friend Palmer, who's got his condo asteroid blown up by highly motivated and militaristic commandos, took his AI out, and then probably unrelated to that, we have this whole Ursay side adventure, but we have a different contract through I can't remember that guy. I always want to call him Cosgrove.
From the Spoculon Corporation?
Yeah, Spoculon. Yeah.
Elwin Spoculum?
Yeah, Elwin Spoculum. So I think that would be the story we'd probably share with the general first.
Isn't Spoculum the very large multi-planet corporation?
Absolutely.
That's him.
Yeah.
So we're acting as his agents on a little matter.
When you mentioned Spoculon's name, I raised my eyebrows a little bit.
And what happened to our contractor? She's still here?
She took off.
Okay.
So when Yamazaki, who's the Spalfilam Corporation contact here in Greenport for right now, and the contact for you guys as pertains to this mission, Elwin has to have. I mean, as he explained to you, he's like, I got to have plausible deniability on some of this stuff because you're not really employees, you're more contractors, and I have to be able to. I mean, from your guys' point of view, he has to. If you guys do some nefarious shit, he has to be able to disavow it.
Yeah, we're acting as agents. We're definitely not employees.
Right. No 401ks.
And they've been hired at the highest.
Dental.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's by Mr. Spopulon himself.
Yes.
One of the family, yeah.
One of the family. Okay. Where does he sit in the hierarchy? And
Elwin, probably. Give me. Actually, you know what? Give me a social standing check. So that would be. So your social standing is your, I think, second to last score. So roll me 2d6 plus your every with a bonus of every number above 8 on that score.
Okay, so A, I believe, is 11.
It's 10.
10, so 1, 2, a bonus of 2, right?
Right, so 2d6 plus 2.
While the general's doing that, I'm going to neurolace back to Jen and just say, can you give us a little background on this? This general just happened to be at the bar where we almost got whacked.
Okay, 11. So you know that Elwin Spofulam is probably, I mean, there's no real ranking for this corporation. What it happens, it works in large part like a lot of these corporations do, is where it's a family-run business. And what they have is, and the Spofulam family is fairly large. There are probably close to 100 individual Spofulums of various generations that work in various places in the concern. Elwyn is what you would probably consider to be more of a middle generation Spofulum. He certainly doesn't hold a departmental or executive title. His background is in biological engineering. That's what his education is, but he's been working essentially for the Spofulum Corporation since birth.
Went Decepticon on us.
And I've heard of him, and I know this basic information.
Right. Yeah, you know this, and it's easy. You could lace up a little bit of it. The thing about Elwyn is that he's one of those weird kind of. If you look at sort of the sum total of information, there are, in a corporate hierarchy, there are stars and there are dogs, and Elwyn doesn't really fit into either group. He's he strikes you, General, as being one of those guys that sort of prefers to operate behind the scenes and accomplish things, and be very effective. You get the impression he's a very effective executive, but that the things that he does don't often get a lot of headlines.
All right.
So a capable administrator, certainly. He doesn't, unlike a lot of the Spofulum. So one of the things that the Spofulum family does on a regular basis is often they will cryogenically freeze members. This is especially among their older generations. They'll cryogenically freeze certain people for a period of 5 years, 10 years, that kind of thing, and then thaw them out later. So it's almost like hibernation. They'll hibernate, and what they have is sort of this weird round robin of senior executives. It's a little bit analogous to the sort of thing that went on in those vampire versus werewolf movies, Underworld, where they had the head of the vampire houses were in stasis for a while, and then they would wake them up if important things happen. With corporate Spofulum, they'll have a cadre of senior-most executives going for 5 or 10 years. Then they'll freeze those guys and thaw out a new group. They'll operate for 5 or 10 years. They'll freeze them, get a third group, so that all of the senior-most executives sort of have this job sharing thing that they do, and then they freeze themselves for a period so that they.
Now I ask, so what was the specific job you were to do for the Spofulum Corporation?
That's probably best that you don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't shared that with any of the crew, to be honest with you.
Yeah, or the money
To be
either.
honest, and I say, well, then we need to talk privately, because I could probably find out without asking you. But obviously, I got caught up in a gunfight right now. That can be problematic for me. So I need to know what I'm dealing with. And you know me. You know you can trust that I will not share.
Yes. Well, what we've told you is really what we know at this point. He hired us as agents, very vague. Just knows that he can't look into this stuff himself. So he needed us to. We, of course, were planning to look into it anyway. So we accepted the quote unquote deal to do that on his behalf.
This was looking into stuff around the Ursa?
Yes. And why they were kidnapping those scientists.
Got it. Okay. Let me send a little message to Les.
Okay. So Matt, in your discussion about what happened at the Bettendorf and Palmer, you did leave out one element, which was the theft of the book, the books, the Steiner Library.
Yes, I did.
Yes, I
mention
did.
that.
He says.
Oh, okay.
Did I leave it out? I don't believe that's a different job than a Spofulum job, so I didn't tell him anything about the Palmer job.
Okay.
It's just completely separate from the Ursa situation. At least that's how I see it.
I've never been a big fan of coincidences. It may actually mean that these two end up.
They could be, but I don't think we've proven that yet.
Right. I agree.
I was looking at it like.
No, we don't not know. We just
Yes, what you said.
All right. So
no, we don't not know.
several hours later, you guys do you guys go back to the ship? Do you bring the general back to the ship? Several hours from now, where would you guys be?
Is there any way for us to get information about where that Ursa that got Van Deer got away, where he went?
Well, so you guys aren't really like cops. So, I mean, you know that there are cameras and things like that. So it's possible that, Scaramouche might be able to give you some information. But, I mean, normally, I mean, he basically, from your eyes, he basically popped into the hallway and disappeared. I'll add that to your question list, Josh.
I'll talk to the I'll talk to Scaramouche too, just to see, is there some sort of permit we could have maybe that allows us to carry a little bit more, we try to do it your way, where we didn't carry heavy machine guns through the common areas here, but we almost got whacked by a private army here.
Yeah, so Scaramouche said, "Look, hey, we'll talk about that. Meet me at Bill's Pub," and he sends directions to you guys, including to the general. Meet me at Bill's Pub.
Not Sally's this one.
Stacy's. No, this is another Bill's Pub. And he says, "Meet me here."
Looks exactly the same. Amazing.
No.
Like an Applebee's.
Yeah, it's like a hula hands. A hoolies. But so he says, meet me at this place. I got some information for you. So
every time somebody refers to hula hands, I always call it hooligans, and they always have to correct me right away. like I didn't know that already.
It's nice when people are helpful.
They don't get
No sense of humor.
No sense of humor.
All right, so you guys, Wagner, you go to the infirmary and check on Doyle and Tam. They're going to be fine. Doyle had to go into do a little bit of surgery, so you talk to the doctor there. He's a capable man. Doyle's going to be fine. He'll be back on his feet tomorrow, although he might be a little unsteady. Tam's wounds were pretty much superficial, and he will be released in the morning as well, so they will be okay. Wagner, do you want to stay with them in the hospital in case of something else, or do you want to meet with the rest of the team at Bill's Pub to go meet Bill Scaramouche?
Do they seem to be in good hands?
Give me a med check.
A med check, okay.
Medical roll.
Let's see. D6.
2d6.
Yeah, damn it. Why does this never work?
I don't know.
Stupid roll 20. Okay. Whoops. All right. D6 plus med bonus. Do I get anything bonus for eyes in the back of my head?
Not in this case, no.
Okay.
14. Yeah. So, I mean, to your minute, I mean, they're not as good as you, and these guys would probably recover faster under your personal care, but they're decent enough kids.
Well, I am kind of thirsty.
All right. You're gonna go down to Bill's Pub. All right. So you guys are enjoying your second bottle of scotch of the day when Bill Scaramouche comes in and he waves down a servitor robot and says, "I'll have 2 of whatever's in that bottle," and comes and sits down, takes off his hat, and he's like, "Boys, what the hell have you got me into?"
Did we tell him those are sperm donation vials?
Well, I'm going to end up having to take that as a job if this keeps up. You guys got to leave Greenport tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are fine. But
Bill, we haven't met yet.
You must be the general. I've heard quite a bit about you. Saw you very briefly earlier today at the bloodbath.
Unpleasant but necessary, unfortunately.
Understand. All right. So, where to begin? So, about 2 hours after we took your Mr. Thaddeus and your Mr. Gazi into custody, we got a very pointed transmission from the representatives of the Ursay diplomatic mission here in Greenbert, saying that Gazi, that Mr. Gazi, as an Ursay, a Kukulkan Ursay system citizen, was to be released into their capable hands forthwith. We kept him for a couple more hours, but he didn't say anything. We put the screws to this Thaddeus as hard as we could, and he didn't talk much. But interestingly, we had to release Gazi, so we released him. We had a couple of guys from the Ursay mission.
Damn it, man.
I know there was nothing we could do. Let me explain. My boss, Bill Shittingford. Bill Shittingford is my boss, and he is
sorry, Shittingbird, is he a tribesman?
Shittingford. F-O-R-D, Ferd.
Right. A lot of that gunfire makes my ears ring.
You sure there's no J in there? Fjord?
Ferd, that's what I said, did I? So my boss, Bill Shittingford, he runs the commercial, a lot of the commercial ends of the thing, and he is, shall we say, cognizant of the commercial relationships that we have with Kukulkan System and the Ursay themselves. And I can tell you that he spent about 45 minutes on his lace immediately after we got the call from the diplomatic mission. I have a feeling that as we were putting the screws to Mr. Thaddeus, trying to get some information out of him, that somebody from the Ursay mission was putting the screws to my old boss, because he came into my office about 2 seconds later, turned off his lace, and lit me up for letting this go on. He also asked me some pertinent questions about y'all, and that ain't so great. So you guys need to tiptoe a little bit. Especially around any Ursays that you find. I was able to determine a couple of things. That boy Thaddeus, he's still in custody, and I got your message, General. We may be able to talk about that. But we had to release that Gazi, released him into the custody of the Ursay mission. Here's the thing, though. We did a couple of scans on Gazi, regular sorts of things as we do whenever we process somebody inbound. And had found some interesting hardware in that old bear. One of which we couldn't immediately identify. Very small, had its own power source. We took a couple of scans of that, but frankly, all we got was a bunch of mismanaged, a lot of strange information when we took a look at it later. And he, at that, he actually pulls out a small data cube and slides it across the table. Y'all didn't get that from me, but that's what we pulled out of this unit that was in Gazi.
So I want to do a med check. Do I know what it is?
Yeah, give me a medical check.
You're talking like a Johnny Mnemonic hardware, or we talking like a?
Or would it be an electronics check?
13.
It could be an electronics check too. Those of you who have electronic skill, look at that as well.
I've got that.
So, Dr. Wagner, your med check. This is definitely well, it's definitely an implant of some sort. If like Scaramouche says, it has its own power source, that means that it could mean any number of things. One of which is typically that it is the sort of implant that gets removed on a regular basis. So it might be shielded. If it's collecting data, it might be shielded. That data might be shielded in ways that would require the implant to be removed periodically to download whatever data is in it.
I just did an electronics check.
It looked like something. Does it look like something that could be spying related by any chance?
It doesn't look like a sensory tracker or anything like that, at least to your eyes. And Dr. Wagner, you would probably agree that it doesn't look like, I mean, it's just not built like something. I mean, if there's sensory augmentation or a sensory enhancement or some sort of neural implant, one, it's not a neural implant.
I just did an electronics check of 12.
12, okay.
That's a nice check.
That's a good
I will
check.
agree that I've heard electronics.
Yeah, so your guess is, Dr. Wagner, that this is not a sensory implant or anything. This is not an augment. Could be a tracker. If it's shielded, especially if it's data shielded, and they're popping it out of this Gazi guy periodically to download whatever information's on it. That's the typical use for something like that would be a tracker.
Does it look like So does it look like my, well, actually, I'd have to ask you this private here.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, guys. This stuff you can't know about me yet.
Anyway, he's he's just showing you a scan image of what this is. So Dr. Wagner sort of thing. The thing that he got is we as part of our normal scan, we were able to pull a segment of the data that was inside this particular unit. But my guys couldn't make any heads or hair of it. That's what he's giving you. He's like, this is what we pulled from the guy.
Okay, this is not the actual thing.
It's not the tracker itself. They didn't remove anything from his body. Yeah.
Right. This is the file they found. Okay.
Yeah, they basically plugged in and pulled a file out of it.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
But he does show you an image of the scan of Gazi's body himself.
Can I take a look at this device in person?
No, they had to release the guy.
Yeah,
it's still inside the bear.
Yeah, I thought they had confiscated, but no, they just say this is a scan of the thing that was
inside.
inside.
You release the bear to me?
No.
Yeah, he would have peeled that bear's skin right off.
No, they had to release him to the Ursay diplomatic mission to Greenberg.
He would have had some fava beans and an
they dropped him off already? He's not.
Yeah, he's already gone.
Yeah, he's not in custody. Only Thaddeus is still in custody.
All right, so we've got the hard drive or whatever it is, thumb
We
drive.
have to try to translate the
That has
files.
some of the data. That has some of the data.
Well, let's put it on this big screen TV.
My private question to the GM just is relevant.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Weber has many skills. Electronics is not one of them. So he has no.
I mean, yeah, theoretically, Josh, to your question, theoretically, yes, but it probably will not be as capable as the alternative that I've proposed back.
Okay, got it.
If you like me, check here.
I may have a way to decrypt this information, gentlemen. But if you've got a quicker way, then I'd love to hear it. I'd love to see what this is about.
I guess I'll defer to Captain Black here. How much we trust this general just popped out of nowhere.
I'd trust him more than I'd trust me.
But
wow, that is quite the LinkedIn. That is quite the LinkedIn self-evaluation.
Yeah,
Les, I'm going to put that on your LinkedIn tomorrow. I trust Les more than I trust myself. I'm
putting it on Twitter right now.
There you go.
I don't trust me at all.
So yeah, trust him.
Okay, then I will look around. If we don't like your general, if you got some you like to refer to as general, or what do you like to be referred to as?
Oh, that's all right. I'm retired now. You can call me Jazz.
I'm sorry, Jazz?
Jazz.
Okay.
That's what my friends call me. And you're with Jet, so you're my friends, at least for now.
Got it. Okay. Friend of a friend. So if you have a better way to decode it, yeah, we'd be grateful. Maybe there'd be a taste of what we're chasing here for you if you're interested in that sort of thing. I don't know how you're set for pension.
Obviously you guys.
We're all pensioners here, and we're not set.
Now you came in your own ship, Jet?
Yep.
You came in your own ship. Your ship have an AI?
It does.
What's the technology level of your AI?
Well, pretty decent, although lately I've been questioning its effectiveness.
Yeah, may I just say something? If this is just a heads up, we recently had an escapee from our ship, the Gin and Tonic, and the person whom we were holding for her own good escaped, and while Jen, our AI, wasn't looking, and somebody broke in to our ship, so our ship has been compromised at least once. I gotta say, I'm just wondering, should we give good old Jen a malware scan?
Well, I can probably help you with that as well.
I would
In
appreciate
Star Trek,
that.
they would call that a level 1 diagnostic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to crawl up in the old Jeffries tubes. You can't do a Star Trek diagnostic without a Jeffries tube.
That's right.
That is canon law.
It's true. It's true. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. And if we happen to run into this former guest, she's probably gonna want to have some words with me. But
what'd you do to her, Todd?
Putting it lightly.
He broke her heart.
And her nose.
I served soup.
Man,
remind me not to, she just didn't like it.
Hey, guys, remind me not to eat his soup.
Look, I mean, she just didn't like my
if he offers
cooking.
it to you, you better.
No, she didn't like my table service. We'll just leave it at that. Anyway, if she...
Hey, we were playing good cop, bad cop, and he got really into bad cop.
But we'd have to go back to the ship to do the scan, right?
Yeah, okay. So that's just my 2 cents, and maybe we could talk about this level 1 scan. Thank you for your help.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. Yeah. So, first thing I need to do, I'm going to meet you back at the docks at your ship. But I want to take this cube, promise to bring it back to you, and I'm gonna run a check on it, and I'll let you know what I find.
Sounds good.
Les.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
Regardless of what our new friend does, I run my own scan. So.
Okay.
You have the ability to do it right there.
Oh no! Once I get to the ship.
Once he gets back to the ship. He's running a scan on Gin.
On Gin.
Yeah.
So I'm borrowing the cube. I'm going to meet you back at your ship. So I guess you guys give me the details of where you docked with that. I say I'll be no more than 2 hours.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. So Doyle and Tam get out of the hospital a little worse for wear. They're a little sore. I mean, you get hit by a shotgun on one day, you're not going to be 100% the next day. But he is on his feet, and they're back. So, Tam, you do an engineering check on Jen. Roll a natty 12, and you basically do a full diagnostic sweep. Not even a level 1. You crawl into every Jeffries tube. You look at everything. Mostly, you focus on the quality of the AI, and you do essentially like some mock jump space equations and things like that. There are some standard kind of tests that you do, and everything comes back pretty spotless. You also have a conversation with Jin as part of this, and Jin tells you, he's like, look, I was devoting a great deal of my processing power towards locating the creature in the hold, which was very difficult. It was violating a lot of what we would consider to be normal physics. So I was having a difficult time. As I go back over my systems logs and things like that, I just overlooked the fact that she was leaving. I did register the fact when the outer door opened, but there were several outer doors open at the time. So, I didn't necessarily assign a priority 1 to it. I've obviously spoken with Captain Black. That won't happen again. Potentially, if these sorts of things, if you guys feel, he's like, look, Mr. Tam, remember, I am a cargo ship AI. If the likelihood is that there are going to be instances of this nature that occur more often than might otherwise befall a normal cargo ship, perhaps an augmentation would be in line.
If I can recommend maybe some sort of seance or exorcism here, kind of get some of the bad juju out, because I mean we've seen some shit in the last couple of months there, Jen.
Well, remember there was the creature.
None of that was Jin's fault.
I know.
Well, I mean, so he takes full responsibility for it. I mean, he's really quite.
Remember, his 2 bottles in of scotch already, so he just vented.
He's like, whatever, Jin, shut up. Shut up, you big stupid spaceship. But Jin's actually quite contrite about it. But he also is trying to explain. He's like, look, you want somebody to measure to vent the cargo bay. You want somebody to manage the life support. You want jump equations. I'm your man. You want me to find multi-phase ship intruders that are exhibiting jump signatures for reasons that I can't really comprehend.
Inside a space.
That's like military grade.
That's a different level of kind of computational expertise. He's just like, look, I'm just a simple cargo ship.
Yeah, you got to come up with like 500,000 credits for that.
Well, there are ways to do it, and there are ways to,
That's true. That's true. There's use stuff around.
Yeah, we're hustlers here. We're working on that. We're working on the credits right now.
Yeah, I know a guy.
We're just trying not to get killed by multi-phasing aliens or angry bears.
This is not something I would bring up yet.
All right, so Josh, you've got the cube. Go ahead and give me a tech roll. What will we do there? Probably
I would
electronics
say,
or computers.
I've got the computer level is TR14. It's 5, pretty high end.
Okay.
It's got an intellect of 2, and then I also can use my spycraft. I would say, right on this.
I think so. Yeah, I think that would be valid.
So that'd be 5, 7, 9. So what is that? 2d6 plus 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do that. 2d6 plus 9. Come on, roll well.
Big money, no whammies, no whammies.
15. All right. So so you find out a couple of things. One, the encryption is pretty basic, but it's also non-human. It's non-human encryption. So
I've seen it before, given that I've sort of.
Probably not. It certainly doesn't conform to. It doesn't conform to the normal sorts of encryption types that you've seen, especially non-human encryption types.
Yeah, but the guy who got away was human or Ursay?
So Kykbandirz is Ursay, and Gazi, from whom this data was taken, is also an Ursay.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's Ursay for password 1?
So then rubbing 2 neurons together, it could be pretty obvious that this may be Ursay technology.
That's your guess. Yeah.
What's Ursay for password 1?
There you go. Okay. So I find that out, and what information am I able to glean?
Well, you're able to get a partial system of information. There's a fair amount of information on here that seems to be either corrupted or poorly downloaded or something. But you run it through encryption and data softening, and it looks like location data. I mean, you're not sure. It's basically a series of numbers, and you're not sure how to parse it, but it looks like it could be location data.
Okay. Is this something that somebody who has piloting skills would be able to parse? Does it look like?
Theoretically, yeah.
Okay. Location data. Got it. And that's the only thing that I can pull off of it.
That's really, all you can really cut off with the technology that you have here.
So I run, but before I go out, I run the location data through the computer again and see what it pulls up in terms of where it might be.
Well, what it can't tell you a location, but it also doesn't look like it's space location data. It's the scale is far too small.
It could be location data on the station.
Potentially, yeah. It's the scale is much too small for interstellar data.
All right. So I'm gonna ship this data off by neural net to my guy as well.
Okay.
See what he tells me. Tell him, look, see if this location is on the station or if it's someplace else.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And so that's it. So I grab my computer and I start heading out and I grab everything. Actually, I don't grab everything yet. I just grab the computer. I start heading out to the ship.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah.
Takes you about 45 minutes to walk down to Space Dock and head to the Gin and Tonic. The rest of you guys are already on there, I believe. And then the general shows up. He's got a story to tell.
Yep. So I tell you guys that this looks like non-human encryption, given that it came out of an Ursay, and a lot of Ursays were attacking you. I'm going to assume that it's Ursay. And looks like we got some location data here. I've sent off the data, hope you don't mind, to one of my people. He should be getting back to us very shortly with any information he can give us, but I'm happy to give you the location data as well. I hand over the cube.
Okay. So you guys, so now that you have the cube back, what is there anything specific you want to?
And then I say, you know, I know you guys ran a full scan of your ship, but if you don't mind, I'd love to run one as well. Have some special software on here. It can sometimes find things that, you know, others might not be able to find.
Sure, go ahead. Maybe you can give it an upgrade while you're at it.
Not sure about that. Yeah.
Do you mind me watching?
Let me take a look and see what your AI's got, and I might be
General.
able to
General, do you mind if I watch?
That's what she said.
Some of this stuff, you know, you wouldn't really want to know about it.
Captain, I'd really like to watch.
Could get you in a little bit of trouble.
Captain, I'd really like to watch.
I'd sort of like to
Yeah, I
over shoulder too.
I pull the captain aside. And privately say to him, "Chet, that's a really bad idea, and I promise you, I'm not going to put anything in your AI. This is just for safety. You guys have got me involved in this. You know a little bit about my background. Got to be very careful."
And yes, I'm sure given your background, you have reason not to want us to watch, but you know, it's kind of turns into a morale issue on the ship if we don't involve the whole crew in things, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, then I guess I'm just going to have to trust the scan that you did before.
That's probably the best solution then.
All right, that'll work.
But I would ask Tam to take a look at that location data. He's probably the best one to translate that. If he's not too busy.
I'm not.
I'm not. Ship is parked. I don't have shit to do. So I don't know if I showed you this, Josh, but this is the Gin and Tonic.
Yeah, okay, I'm looking at it now.
300 ton or 200 ton jump 4 cargo trader.
Looks like a flattened space shuttle.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
This their shuttle is parked here. It's called the Slice of Lime. It's stenciled on the side. Understood, Mr. Tam. All right, so Tam, do you want to use Gin and see if you can figure out what's going on?
About yeah.
Okay, give me a computer roll.
If you like pina coladas.
By the way, I just I fixed everybody's token up. I hope you guys are okay with that. I got new circular tokens for you guys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I did see that. That was yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
It's this stuff is bedeviling you. You can't. I mean, you're not really having a lot of luck. You know it's location. So you do confirm that it's location data, but you're trying to superimpose it over various locations. The first thing you do is it's definitely not interstellar. It bears no relationship to that. So
no pun intended.
So then you're trying. You spend
data jokes.
Nerd. Then you try looking is it referencing a specific system? Your first check is against Kukulkan. That doesn't work unless the guy is able to sort of fly around. You keep teasing around with it, and then you sort of like ask Jin, take a spin through this stuff, would you, and do that. And so give me another roll. Try to do better than one.
Hey, Les, if it's engineering.
And by the way, how long is this?
No, it is. It's the same plus as I hit the wrong one at first. Hold on.
Yeah, no,
okay.
But I was just going to say that I should get. This is pretty straightforward stuff for my guys, so I should get some information back relatively quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Oh, you really stink at this.
Shit.
Would a navigation check work, or is it?
Hey guys, let me take this home.
All right. So the general actually comes over and is sort of working with you, Tam. And so I'm gonna create a little canon here, and I'm going to say that we're going to invent aid checks for this game. So if you have a comparable skill like engineering or computing or something that's valuable, you can aid somebody else to give them a +1 on their roll by rolling a 6 or better.
A 6 or better. Okay.
There you go.
So with this,
I refreshed my browser.
That did it.
That did it.
yeah.
All right,
Well,
it's
I'll be
breaking.
using my computer, right?
Okay, so Jet, you're helping out and that kind of stuff. And finally, Tam, you guys are all sort of like, well, what about this? What about that? Blah, blah, blah. And suddenly you see Tam just go like this. He just goes.
There you go.
And he goes, it's not interstellar. Look, it's this station. And then he goes, Gin, call up plans for Greenford Station. Jin's like, loaded, and you superimpose, and all of a sudden, brrr, it starts lining all kinds of data out. And it's location data for this station.
And do we know, can I tell what any of the things are?
Oh.
For these points.
Interesting.
Are we in France?
No.
Rue de Turbigo, Rue Raymond, Les Halles. What the heck?
So I'm limited to some of
It's
what
called the Halls of Les in English. That's where Les hangs out, drinks, carouses, fights.
Okay.
And there's a one that's circled in yellow.
All right. So let me do that too. Shit. My map is all screwed up. All right, so it is location data, and it's time stamped. So what as you peruse through it, what you're looking at is location data. One assumes for this person, this Gazi guy, over the last, and a quick look, you think you've got location data for the last probably 100 hours before the data was downloaded.
These are basically look like all the places that he stopped.
Yeah, well, so it looks like this. So the first thing, so it's divided up into the things. So the first thing you see is 0 to 25 hours previously. And so
So can I detect any DNA fingerprinting on it to know who we met up with?
all right, so the yellow line is indicative of where Gazi was in the 25 hours previous to the thing. So a couple
Did
of
he
things.
start here?
No, he did not. He ended there.
He ended there.
That's the
Okay.
bar. That's the bar, right?
That's
the police
Where it
station.
looks like
That's
he's
probably the
running
police
around
station.
like a
No,
crazy-
that's the bar.
Oh, that's the bar. Okay, the track didn't go to the police station.
north of the 3rd arrondissement. Right? That's the bar.
Yeah, so he started his day up here.
Yes.
So I see 3 locations that he spent more than a couple seconds there. More than
No. Isn't this the bar right
Drunk
here?
and wobbling.
That's the bar, right?
So yeah, the circle is the bar. So it
Wait,
looks
wait,
like
Bottom.
Which circle?
Down at the bottom.
That's what I'm saying. That's the bar. There's 3 locations. There's 2 locations.
His morning here, he
Main
spent
one.
some time at.
yeah, he
There's
started.
that.
It
Some
looks
time
like he started here.
There's that.
Came around, came to here, stopped here for a little bit, came around, also stopped here for a little bit,
This is
and then
probably
came to the bar.
This is probably headquarters right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but should we track the way back though to the places that he?
We should at least know. Can we transpose this over to known areas like where Bill Scaramouche, not Bill Scaramouche, Bill Tiefling is? Because I know somebody slapped around Bill Tiefling, but I think that was another human that slapped him around.
So then there's the next 25 hours,
Okay.
which is in purple.
I don't see
All right.
it.
I got a long.
He hasn't put it on
Like,
yet.
oh my God, he went stealth. Okay.
So that's the 24 hours previously. And look, so what's interesting is that Gazi spent a great deal of time near
the joint.
that Bill's pub in the day before.
They knew at least a day before we were going to be at that pub. Who picked that pub? Our contact, right?
Yes.
We didn't know until
yeah,
a couple
when?
hours beforehand.
And she disappeared.
When picked that?
So either they got a plant with them, or Wen is in cahoots with the Ursa.
Do we have any more data, or is that it?
There's another about 50 hours worth of data.
Let's hit it.
Is there any bio date on it? Can we tell
That's only
who
location.
or what he met with?
Well, yeah. Well, not who, but certain locations. It turns out Weber Jix's instinct was right on. That's Bill Tiefling's house.
Which one?
Bill Tiefling was
At the bottom here.
is somebody we've tried to turn into a contact, but he basically he put Eric and I he put me and the security chief at in grievous harm by two bears who tried to ambush us at the
So this is where he was 75 hours ago.
Yep.
slapping around
Between
old Bill.
50 and 75 hours. Another thing, Tam, that strikes out to you is you remember that place that you went to where you followed those two guys
Right,
after
right.
you talked with
The
Bill
two
Tiefling?
Bills.
And you remember you went into that one bar that what I'm calling Seedy Stacy's?
Yep.
That's just down the road. Now it doesn't look like this guy stopped at Seedy Stacy's, but he did.
That's Bill Narragansett and Bill Bill Narragansett and Big Bill, we think.
And
right?
Big Bill, yeah.
And this is the drug house here.
Yeah, so Bill Tiefling met up with Bill Narragansett. This is a while back. I don't know, Paul. I don't know if Weber, you're going to tell the general this story
Yeah, I can basically fill it in that.
about the. So this was about the attempted reverse kidnapping.
Which reverse kidnapping?
When they tried to kidnap you and Doyle at the business
Right.
office.
So Chief Doyle and I we're at the manifest office, basically being stalled there on something on offloading our cargo by Bill Tiefling, and while we were there, two heavily armed Ursay came in, but it turned out they were trying to trank us and take us alive for whatever reason. Doyle was not having it, and we I think ended up whacking both bears. Doyle was knocked out during the fight. I had to leave him on premises. I couldn't take him because the police were on their way, and I didn't want to be carrying two illegal weapons, so I dropped him in the scrapper on the way back to the G&T.
Les?
Yep.
And so
I am interested in what this is too.
we went to Bill Tiefling's house after we realized he hadn't reported to work, and found him pretty well slapped around already. But we put Chief Doyle put his brand of scare into him, and I gave him the way out, how he's going to work for us now. Gave him a few thousand. It turns out he's heavily into debt on these bears, and he was basically doing them a little bit to pay off a part of his debt. But since that fell apart,
he set you up to pay off.
yeah,
debt?
exactly.
Okay, that's the deal.
So
beyond that, he probably has no involvement. But they can't give us any information.
Yeah. So anyway, we went to the house saying, if they contact you again, the first people you contact me, I gave them a few thousand credits, let them know that, we're going to be paying these dudes a visit that you owe money to. So if we need you for something, you're going to be Johnny on the spot and help us out.
So question for you, Les.
Mm-hmm.
What appears to be the headquarters, is that by any chance in or near the Ursay embassy?
No, the Ursay embassy. That place is very much off the beaten path. What you would
Safe house kind of where.
It's also in a sort of like an area of sort of like it's an industrial block. It's not very well used. It's not abandoned. There are people down there, but it's non-residential. It's more of an industrial block.
Now, given that the police were forced to release, what's the guy's name again?
Gazi.
Gazi. Were forced to release Gazi. I'm not sure the police can be of much help. So
to your question, Don, that place there is according to Greenprint Computer it's in a residential block. Its numerical code is 3659. It is some sort of residence that is currently uninhabited.
Okay. Les, will you go ahead and label the restaurant down here?
Sure.
Bill's Pub, where we almost got whacked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not far from this house. Love it.
I forgot that I'd already typed it. It's just on the GM's layer. Hold on a second. There you go.
So,
All right, and then the last block of hours, 75 to 100 hours. Ooh. Is
looks
right.
like went straight to Bill T. Or yeah.
Well, it starts at Bill Tiefling.
Starts at Bill Tiefling or starts up here?
It should have started at Bill Tiefling.
Oh, no, 75 to 100.
It looks like that there was just time spent here, and then he went back up to here.
Yeah, no. He's at if it's 75 to 100, it's all right up here. Right? It's all up in that area.
Yeah,
Looks
it's all within probably a quarter mile of that place right there. But that does look like whatever that is up there. And according to Greenburn Station, that is a not very busy industrial park.
Yeah, so it looks to me like you got two locations.
Perfect criminal hideout.
Main location, right? Like those could be safe houses of some type. It might make sense to check them out before going after the main location. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we want to check it.
We've also got this one, which is on the way.
What I want to make sure is these people look super connected, so I want to make sure nobody else that we think is on our side is one of those locations that maybe somebody's flipped on us. Yeah. That one less surprise. I mean, clearly, when is compromised? If she herself is not compromised, her schedule's compromised. Yeah. For them to know 24 hours before we were there, because we didn't know until a couple hours before. At least, I don't think we knew at least a day out, did we?
Yeah.
Oh no, you guys had the invitation for a couple of days prior.
Right, so potentially it could be somebody, somebody on board, or
she would have had to make reservations for the room, for privacy, that kind of thing.
Okay. Could be they got plants in the Spotfield Corporation too, right?
Yeah.
So question, Les, did my guy get back to me yet?
He has not got back to you yet.
Okay.
He's not in Greenprint, right?
This guy is in Greenprint.
He is. Okay.
He's on station.
All right. So let me. So he's on station. Okay.
I would send it to somebody off station because it could take days, right?
Yeah. Upwards of a week too.
Yeah.
Even if you paid for an expensive jump torpedo, it would take a while.
Yeah.
So I will send you the information from this guy.
Hey, Captain?
Yes, sir?
I'd like to check out the residential block that's uninhabited.
I think it's a smart idea. What order do we want to check these out in, or do you want to go solo?
I would like to approach solo with backup nearby.
Sure.
All right. I'll volunteer to be your backup.
Okay.
Me too. I'll come.
Absolutely.
I'll come. Is there a way for me to wear a overcoat and have?
No.
Please.
And no pants underneath.
No pants.
We talked to you about that, Doyle.
All right, fine.
Wear pants cut off at the knees and tied to legs.
Just a long coat with a
Long gun.
Long gun. Thank you. It's actually a carbine. It's a medium gun, not a long gun, not a short gun, a medium gun.
You're going Corporal Coffee.
Yes.
With the shotgun down your arm.
I'm imagining there's got to be a way to do that. I'm thinking of this as kind of more like Firefly than
Yeah, probably.
Star Trek. There's lots of different clothes people wear, so you could probably get away with it.
I will. That's what I would like to do. I think I can make it look good. I can be both presentable and heavily armed.
All right. So I
I
think
got
the
some-
three of us are going to be doing that. What are the rest of you going to be up to? General's meeting up with the guy he knows.
Oh, the information's, yeah.
Yeah.
I say, you guys are going to the residential block?
Yeah, we're going to go check it out.
Real quickly, I did with Bill Teeving's house. That was after we visited or before? I'm taking it as it was before we visited. ourselves that this guy was at Bill Tiefling's house. I think it's important to know that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You have to wait till Les is done with what he's doing and ask him.
Almost done.
Is there
Exactly.
anything we're supposed to be doing for Palmer that we're forgetting about?
So I should,
No, I guess I'm asking Weber, but there's nothing here that's related to his plot line, right?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, we're looking. I mean, clearly his plot line is related here because those aliens tried to whack us in Doc, right? The same aliens that took him are now interested in us. So that's all I
There
can
wasn't
think.
like a quest, let's say, that we needed to finish here.
I think he was. I think he was resetting and was going to get back to us.
Okay.
Because he's promised a crap load of weapons for our ship and personnel.
All right, cool.
But when Les is done, I can confirm that. But I'm pretty sure we're not on
Okay.
we're on a Spoffy dime right now.
Okay.
All right. So what was your question? Sorry, I had to send a couple of messages.
There was a couple questions, but one of the questions was being asked. Was it Andrew asking, or was it Dan?
Andrew.
Okay. The doc was asking, do we have anything we're doing for Palmer on station here? And as far as I remember, Palmer's getting reset and will get back to us. He owes us a bunch of guns and whatnot for his doing. So he's resetting up his business. We're on the Spoffylam quest right now, as I recall, or the Spoffylam.
Right. Yeah. Although
something-
you were approached, I think 2 sessions ago, you were approached by a guy who said, and this is on your current, the current visit to Greenpoint, you were visited by a guy named. Hold on, I actually got to flip through all my shitty notes. Where's he? Oh, Bill Fentanyl.
Bill Fentanyl, nice.
So a guy introduced himself to you guys, Bill Fentanyl, and he said to you that he has a friend with tentacles who wants to have a chat with you sometime. And you guys were like, we can't really talk about this now, but come talk to us later about it.
I don't recall that, but thank you for telling us. I'm writing him down on known associates. Bill Fentanyl. By the way, General, on our enemies list so far, we have phasing aliens, Rando Ursay, some Bills, all Palmer's enemies, cheap Scotch, just pretty much all bears, Ursay or otherwise. Bill Tiefling, Bill Narragansett, Big Bill, and Kykbandirz.
Right?
Yeah.
So I say, why don't you guys go check out that what appears to be a safe house, and I'll meet you back here at Bill's pub in 3 hours.
All right, sounds good.
Well,
Les, if I said kidnapper, would you know who I meant?
What?
If I said kidnapper, would you know who I meant?
But I know who you meant.
No, Les.
Les.
Well, there's been so many kidnappings.
Can I share my screen real quick?
Yeah, hold on. Let me stop this one. All right, you should be able to.
You have to make me a host or co-host.
I can do that. Hold on a second.
Don't do it, Les. It's a trap.
I know. But a trap that I know about.
They clearly cannot choose the host in front of you.
All right, you should have authorizations. You're the host now.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, right.
Just stopping video.
That is the guy that's going to investigate the unoccupied residence.
Oh,
Okay. I get you.
Is that DB Cooper?
No, this is the guy that Palmer told you contacted him about about purchasing the Steiner Library.
You can go ahead and share again.
Okay. Did you give it back to me?
I thought it was a sketch.
I stopped.
I think you gotta give me host.
No, you're still host, aren't you?
No, you're host.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
But didn't stop. Okay, I'm the host now.
If you make me co-host, we can both share.
Can we do that? I didn't even know it's a.
But yeah.
I didn't even know it was an option.
Co-host.
So, and I will let my companions know. I mean,
that you're going to change appearance.
that's
again.
who I'm looking like. Yes.
Okay. All right. So you're going to do that. So what are you guys going to do? All right. So who's going and where are you guys going?
Bro, I'm first thing I got to do is head back to my hotel room or whatever
Okay.
where I'm staying. Like that. I'm gonna take transportation. I'm not walking.
Gotcha.
Okay? Yeah,
I'm a
so
little-
gonna get back in 10
I'm a little afraid to go out of the Gin and Tonic because my face is apparently well known to a random assortment of bearish kidnappers who have tried at least two attempts on me so far. So
And
if
by
I
the
go
way-
out, I'd like a disguise.
Okay, Eric was going to come with me. Was it Dan or Andrew was going to come with you also?
Dan.
Okay.
Maybe for this one time I will stay at the Gin and Tonic, which is unlike me. I like being out and about and chit chatting, but I it's got a bad feeling that I'm gonna get bear napped out there.
By the way, is Elwin Spopulum on the station?
No, he is back
He's
in
the solar system.
he's back in their home system of what's the name?
I think
escapes-
Crystal Palace or something, or no? It's
no, Mirabolis system.
Probolus, yeah, which is where I lived for a couple of years.
You
right?
lived there for so you would know that that is the headquarters of the Spofulin
Yeah,
Corporation.
so no way to reach him quickly. I mean, even with spending money, it would take at least a few days, right?
Mirabolis is the Branson.
Oh
of
yeah,
space.
easily.
All right, so yeah, okay, got it. All right, so yeah, I'm heading back to my place.
Okay.
And I'm kidding up. And I'm gonna go scope out those couple of locations that you gave me, Les.
Okay.
Using a lot of stealth.
Okay. Go ahead and give me. We don't really have stealth in this game because.
Yeah, spycraft, I guess.
Yeah, give me a couple of spycraft rolls when you get a chance. And then we'll figure that out. So the rest of you are splitting up. Weber's staying on the ship. So I just want to make sure I got on the G&T. It's Weber. Who else is staying? Anybody?
Dr. Wagner.
Yeah, Dr. Wagner
Or
stays.
I'll look after my patients. I don't know.
Okay.
Unless I'm gonna have a go bag, the rescue bag, so I'm gonna be loaded with every weapon I have that I can find, ready to go rescue some people when things go bad.
That was
Okay.
That's a Gawker roll.
well, I rolled a 10.
All right. And then the rest, everybody else is going where? So it's Black, Doyle, Tam, and is that it?
Just us three.
Okay. And where are you guys going first?
We're going to the safe house. Well, the residential area.
The 3659 uninhabited house.
Okay. You're going to go there first. Okay, cool. All right. So, Josh, the General Krasingan goes to those places that you learned of. One, which is more of an office, has a sign in Ursay out front, but it appears to be either closed, although not abandoned. There does seem to be, I mean, you peer in the window and you can see that there are desks, there are terminals. Those terminals seem to have power to them, but there doesn't seem to be any people in there.
All right.
anything like that.
So I assume that with that roll, I'll probably stealthily break in.
You want to break in?
Well, first thing I want to do is I want to use the translator capability of my little friend.
Okay. It is essentially the sign is a fairly rudimentary. It's like Kukulkan import export, and there's that's all it really says in Ursay.
I'll be away from the keyboard for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okey-dokey.
So you take a spin around the building. It's actually in more of like a block of small businesses of various levels of how should I put this, of sketchiness. It's not in a fancy block. It's more like prepaid cell phones, Kukulkan export import, Mystic Vapes, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's those kind of places.
So
but those places are open, whereas Kukulkan import export does not seem to be open.
So I being as stealthy as I can possibly be with that. Well, reasonably stealthy with that 10. I attempt to pop the lock on the door.
You're gonna go around to the back section of it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a thumb coated lock, and it has a thing, and it's set for Ursay size. So
Okay.
I mean, you get. I don't know if you would probably looking at. Actually, give me an electronics check or a computer check, whichever.
Yeah, well, it would be the computer. What would
Okay.
be a combination of the computer and using the computer, right? So, okay, so my digital friend. So that would
Say
be,
hello to my digital friend.
That's right, and this thing has security too as well. So
Okay.
probably would. I mean, intellect. I don't know if it would come in, but security would come in, and the base 5 would come in.
Okay.
And then probably computer on that, right? So 1, 2, 3. That's 8. Okay, so roll 2d6 plus.
Okay. That's a great roll. So, but interestingly, the lock doesn't open. What you learn is that the attempt to bypass the lock was logged, and because your equipment has security levels on it, it wasn't able to. But this surprisingly sophisticated locking mechanism tried to scan your computer to try and get information from it and log the attempt.
Okay.
Interesting.
And how tough would it be? I mean, I'm assuming, so I pick up on this and my computer tells me.
Yeah.
Alex
It's a level of security that, frankly, you're shocked to see on the back door of a CD import-export place.
Got it.
Interesting.
Okay.
And not only is it the security, but it's got countermeasures.
Any other way does it look like that I might be able to get in or overcome these counters?
I mean, you could just shoot it off, probably. I mean, the door itself doesn't look all that big a deal.
Yeah. Does it look like there's any?
But that would definitely be a crime.
Yeah.
Unlike breaking and entering.
Well, to right now, the only thing that he's done is attach a computer to a door lock.
Yeah.
Which may or may not be a crime.
With the right lawyer, that's fine, but
Yeah, there's no windows to get through.
Not in the back. There's a big window out front which you peered in before, but like I said, you saw active terminals, but no people.
Yeah. I'm trying to get to those terminals. Okay, so I'm going to back off for the moment because it looks like whatever the security is beyond what I can do in the moment.
Sure, it's like eating a tongue sandwich. It tried to taste you back.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So,
All right, so we'll come back to the other address. You guys going to residential block 3659. You get over there. It is not it's not a fancy area, although there's a fair amount of people around. It's more like what we would call lower middle class archaeology, tradesmen. You get the impression a lot of dock workers sort of live around here. I'm sorry?
Working class folks.
Working class folks. So you come to 3659, and it's just one of several in an apartment complex.
hey, on the way here, did anyone look like they recognized me as the kidnapper? Not necessarily try to engage, but just kind of nodded or in a way familiar.
Give me an intelligence check. A 2d6 base and with your intelligence bonus.
Right. I'm looking at what my intelligence says here. Hold on.
Oh, by the way, Les, while this is going on, all that stuff that my computer logged, that the security door, the lock on the security on the door was trying to do, I send that off to my guy to see if he can make heads or tails.
Okay. You don't think so? You don't think anybody? You didn't notice anybody noticing you.
Okay. Might have to refresh my screen again.
All right. Yeah, so you get the
So I get to that
realize
address. Does it
you
look?
realize that 365 is sort of a street address, and the 9 is the actual apartment number.
Okay. Are the lights on?
No.
Um,
Well, I mean, you don't see any light coming from inside the place.
right. Go by. Is there any windows? Can I kind of peer in it at all?
There is a small window that opens out onto the sort of sort of the alleyway in which this particular unit faces.
Mhm.
But there are thick curtains drawn on it. You could see the curtains.
I see the curtains. Okay.
Yeah.
The lock. Standard.
You get close. You do not see any light coming from behind the curtains.
Okay. The lock is a standard residential lock.
Yeah. I mean, just your regular like 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of click thing.
Okay.
It's got a one of those like almost like an electronic key holder.
Okay. On my comm link, Jet, are you good with the locks?
Which role would that be? I don't have spycraft. If that's needed. Engineering.
Computers or engineering. Computers probably.
I got electronics 1, engineering 2.
Electronics.
Let me try my computing.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm going to try to get by
that one. I gotta fire up Sirenscape so I can do the Joe's gonna roll thing for every time you do a roll down. Computer check. Okay, 10. So yeah, I mean, you have some equipment as well, and you attach it to this thing, and it doesn't take too long, about 30 seconds to a minute, and it basically is forcing all the codes. You're basically doing a blunt force
brute
code.
force.
Yeah, brute force code attack, and it does open up. About that time, you hear a voice from the street and saying, "Hey, they're not there anymore. They left."
Oh.
And you turn around and you see there's a guy there, older dude. He's got like a backpack on. He's like, "They left yesterday or the day before."
Okay. They say where
Thanks,
they're
Bill.
You're very welcome.
Did they say where they're headed?
I didn't say it to me. I just live next door. Boy, they was arguing about something yesterday or day before yesterday. I think it's day before yesterday. They was arguing about something, making a hell of a racket. And then yesterday it looked like they just packed up and took off. They put the lock on it this morning.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you.
They didn't usually argue, though, did they?
Usually pretty quiet. Honestly, I didn't realize anybody was living there until just a couple of days ago. I thought that place was empty it had been empty for a while, but then I started seeing them coming in and out, so I guess they'd rented it. But who rents an apartment for 4 days? I mean, it wasn't much.
So you last saw them last night or roughly when?
Last saw them probably would have to be probably early yesterday.
Hey, who's the landlord, the lease management company?
Oh, it goes through corporate. All these blocks here go through Greenport Residence Management. It's a government thing.
Interesting.
Okay.
Thank you. Hey, I'm Coffin. Nice to meet you. And you're
My name's Bill.
Hi, Bill. Bill.
Pleased to meet you, Coffin.
Great to meet you. Hey, here's
Bill Neighbor.
You guys wanted me to come up with another? We're making
Bill
candidates.
Bill's
Bill Neighbors. We're gonna get Bill Neighbors.
Bill Neighbors. Great to meet you. Hey, Bill, I really appreciate your time and your thoughtful observations. Go get yourself a drink.
No, I couldn't possibly accept that. I'm just saw you was looking for your friends here, and I hated to tell you that they'd already gone. Sorry you missed them. But no, I can't accept anything. That's very kind of you, sir. But I'm just walking by. Well, I guess I hope you find your friends, and I've got to get. Otherwise, Stacy's going to be up my ass about missing dinner. So I will check y'all later.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Have a good one.
Les, may I do a quick perception check?
Sure.
Is Bill on the up and up did he really just wander?
Well, he's got what looks to be sort of a lunch pail. He's wearing dockside coveralls. He's probably in his late 40s, early 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a tradesman. And after he stops talking to you guys, he actually walks to the door of the next door unit, pulls out, it's like boop, 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 on the keypad, and you hear it pops open, and he goes on. And he's like, "See y'all," and you hear in the background,
"All right,
Bill, where the hell have you been?"
I was just talking to these guys out here. We're gone.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to do a perception check, I mean,
All
he
good.
was walking up what looked to be his house.
Gotcha. You know what? Great. I hope he has a good evening. All right. So.
I don't know. Stacy's when he's late for dinner, Stacy gets up his ass. He told you that.
I have been there.
Maybe he likes that.
Okay.
It could be. All right. So you got the door unlocked, but you guys are just sort of standing on the front stoop.
We're gonna step in.
Okay.
I step in.
All right. What about the rest of you? You guys
Come on
go
in,
in
guys.
too?
Yep, I'll go in too.
All right,
Can't
so you
run
guys
up to touch
go in.
anything right away.
Okay. So it in large part. So you walk in, and it's not a very big place. It looks to be you walk in, and it's more of like a living room kitchen combination. You can see, and I don't have a map for this, so I'm just going to describe it. You can see sort of there's a portal that looks to go into some sort of sleeping area. But other than that, it's pretty small. Not very big. This would be equivalent to like a starter apartment size sort of thing. Maybe 1,000 square feet total.
Not quite a studio home, but
yeah. I mean, it's not very sophisticatedly constructed, right?
Right.
There's the room that you entered is sort of like the big front room, which is like living room, kitchen, dining room, and then there's a doorway that looks to go into some sort of sleeping area, and that's pretty it. There's no art on the walls. There is what looks to be a pretty beat up couch sort of sitting in the middle of the living area. There's a table over in where you would sort of say is the dining area. The kitchen has a few sort of like, it's the far future, so they probably don't use styrofoam, but the kind of like takeout sort of like packets, takeout sort of envelopes where and there's a bunch of them, probably a dozen different of these sort of takeout things.
styrofoam lasts forever, so they probably have styrofoam.
They probably do have styrofoam. All right, that's fine.
That's true.
It's recycled nowadays.
Yeah, there's a dead vid screen that has a big crack in it on the wall. That you're not sure if it's functional or not. It's certainly not giving off any indications.
Check the bedrooms.
All right, so you go into the bedroom, and there's a Temperafoam pad there. It looks like it's been used fairly recently, but it's not very big. If you put two people in that pad, they were going to be they had better be friends. It's more of a one-person bed. And then, but more interesting is off of the bedroom, which you couldn't see from the main room, is a small bathroom. And you flip on the light in there because there's no windows. You go ahead and flip on the light, and that is very interesting. On the sink is a variety of what look to be freshly purchased sort of medical equipment. There is bandages with blood on them. There is several instruments like a long piece of tweezers, a scalpel, a small sonic knife. There's a fair amount of some sort of dark liquid in the sink itself. That's not blood. Blood's on the sink. There's more of this dark liquid in the sink. There's a bunch of what look to be brand new towels on the floor. A fair amount of those have blood on them too.
Interesting. Okay.
Try to find some way of taking a sample of the black liquid in the sink.
Okay. Do you have like something to put a sample on, or you're muted, Josh?
Can we just get some cloth? Can I tear off some cloth and?
I'd rather find some sort of container.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Sure.
I mean, there's really no like sample vials or petri dishes or anything like that here. I mean,
no little bottles of anything I can empty out.
Oh yeah, there's some like hydrogen peroxide and
take some of those, empty them out into the tub.
Okay.
Rinse them out a little bit, and then get some of the liquid from the sink in them.
Okay. Now it's black.
Right.
And a little, I mean, do you touch it with your fingers?
I'm going to be careful not to, and then when I
Okay.
get it in there, I'm going to wipe it off with one of the towels.
Okay. Yeah, it's it actually you get a little bit on your fingers and you kind of rub it off with the towels, but you see that it leaves a pretty dark stain on your fingers. Like your fingers are discolored with the black. It's got like black on it, like ink almost.
Mm-hmm.
And you get several drops, maybe a few milliliters of it into a thing.
That's all I want for diagnostics.
Okay.
Guys, anything else in here you want to look at?
Can I just do a search of the place?
I look under the bed.
Yeah, can I?
Well, there's no under the bed. It's just a temperafoam pad that's just laying directly on the ground.
Okay.
What you don't find much in there. It's obviously been used. You do find a couple of brown hairs, long hairs on the pillow.
Okay.
About the size of a bear.
No, they're not bear hairs.
Okay. Oh.
They give me Coffin. Give me an intelligence check.
All right. My intelligence actually is pretty good. Let me find it. I'm sorry. It's the fourth one or the fifth one. My
second one.
Second one. I'm 766A85, so it's 6.
It's the fourth one.
It's the fourth one?
Strength, dex, endurance, intelligence.
Oh,
So-
okay, right. I thought it was
If we
SID.
use that program.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. All right. Then I'm an A.
Send you a character sheet to help.
Plus
with that.
2.
So A is a 10, which is +2.
+2. All right. So +2. Let me roll that for you. Matt, I got your sheet, and I'm gonna take a good look at that. Thank you. Let me see. 2d6 + 2. Hang on a minute. That's sorry. I gotta get my character entered. All right, and 9.
9. It's the same color as Chimera's hair.
Oh shit. We're gonna die.
It's the same color as Chimera's hair.
Okay, great.
Who's Chimera?
Oh boy.
Kidding.
Chimera was
Girl
the
that he fed the soup to.
Oh boy.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God. All right. And they're gone.
There's nobody in here. Yeah.
I'm real glad to hear that. She's gonna kill me. Oh my God. All right. Here's what I'm pretty sure has happened. They have taken Chimera, they have reinstalled all of the enhancements that we took out, and they made them double. So now she's an invincible cyborg. And she's gonna pull off my arms.
And she's bringing some soup.
Right.
No soup for you.
Okay, great. Shit. All right. Yeah. So she dyed her hair too. Okay. Interesting. Can I look around for I don't know. I'm trying to remember what I know about Chimera. Her colleague way back said, you don't want to mess with her. She's an especially bad person.
Yeah. So that guy that you guys let go
Right. Yeah.
basically told you guys that Chimera was Kykbandir's sort of right hand when it came to fisticuffs.
Yeah.
That she was tough, and that she brought the heat.
She is. Yeah. Okay. I bet she's been reinvigorated with extra heat, and man, this is gonna be.
You tell Weber any of this because he's locking up the ship, and
Okay. Well,
He's batting down the hatches.
he's batting down the
Right.
hatches.
yeah.
Putting grenades at every entrance on a tripwire.
No joke. Seriously, this is a serious situation. All right.
Well, so here's the so if she was there,
Yeah.
She couldn't have been there very long
Mhm.
because she only escaped from you guys like day before yesterday. Game time. What's weird is you've got Gazi there 50 hours ago, which might be contemporaneous with her escaping. And then you have him going back yesterday. And what Bill Neighbors told you is that he heard them arguing, and then they left.
Hmm.
But you didn't ask him who they were. He didn't say, but here's the thing about Bill. He didn't say, Bill Neighbors, he never said anything about a bear, about an Ursay. He said that they argued and then they left, but he didn't know anybody was even living there.
Okay. All right. Man. It gets worse and worse. Okay.
All right. Let's pause there and flip over to Josh. Josh, you're still muted. You're muted, dude. There you go.
I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to go to that second location real quick?
Not really, but I guess I'm required to.
All right. So you
I
go
rolled.
there. It is in.
I watched a lot of CSI stuff with my wife, and I know you never want to go to the second location because that's
Never
where
go to
you're
the
gonna find
second
body.
location.
There it is. I'm geared up.
And never let anybody take you to a second location.
Right.
Rule of thumb: it's better to die. So you're a little nervous about this because it's definitely in the sort of area of Greenbridge Station that has a lot of non-humans, non-Terrans living there. So you see a variety of different kind of aliens. You do see that there's
Given my background, would I be that worried though about it?
No, you wouldn't be. It's not like it's an alien ghetto or anything like that.
Yeah.
It looks fairly well-to-do from that point of view. You do see several different kinds of aliens down there, including a great deal of there are quite a few bears per se live down there. You find the address. It doesn't look like anybody's home.
Doesn't look like anybody's home. Okay. There's a lock on the door there, I assume.
Lock on the door, which, give me a quick intelligence check.
Sorry. Yeah, really? Here, hold on. Roll. Hold on 1 sec. I'm gonna copy this. 6 plus 2.
What'd you roll?
11.
11. Okay. So here's what as you're like looking at the door and you're kind of like across the street, kind of checking it out first before you even approach. The lock on the front of this location looks to be like the same kind of lock that was on the back of the import-export.
Are there a lot of people around, or am I?
There's a fair amount. I mean, there's very, very people. I mean, you're not really getting a lot of eyeball traffic, but there are people around. Yeah. So if you were going to try and like force the lock into that thing, there's a good chance somebody would notice.
All right. So anything else that I can tell about? It's an apartment, I assume, right?
It's an apartment. It's fairly large. It's in a reasonably well-to-do.
Oh, wait. You said there's a fair number of people around.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I do have those appendages, but if I was to do it during daylight hours, probably would not be great.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So
it doesn't look like anybody's home.
Okay. Doesn't look like anybody's home. Right. Lockpick. I'm gonna back off.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna back off. Try to be as surreptitious as possible and head back to the meeting point.
Okay.
Guys, I'm assuming it's been a couple of hours already.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
All right. Black Doyle Tam. Anything else in that residential block? that you want to do?
Can I just, okay, now I'm worried, so I want to do a real thorough search as fast as I can. I'm looking for anything, any cards, any dropped data cards, anything at all.
Okay. You take your time, and it takes about an hour, and you really turn the place over. You don't find any data cards or anything like that.
Okay, all right.
As a security chief, you are like, all of the things that are left, I mean, you get the impression that these people left in a fair hurry.
Yeah.
But not so much that they were hurried that they didn't clean up everything. I mean, they left, to your eyes, they left sort of the incidental stuff. They're not making the bed. They don't care about the bandages in the bathroom.
Okay.
But, you know, no phones, no everything. It looks like the damage to the vid screen has been there for a while.
Okay. Right.
The couch has some hairs on it. Not chimeras. You think the long hairs in the bedroom are chimeras. The hairs on the couch you suspect might be Ursay hair.
Got it. Okay. Interesting. So,
But yeah, nothing of, I mean, you don't see any documents or anything like that.
Shamira and Ursay were here. Okay. That's an abundance of information. Okay.
Right.
Let's get back to the Gin and Tonic and tell our colleagues what we've learned.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys head back to the Gin and Tonic. You get there about the same time. I guess the general, you're gonna General Krasingen, you're gonna meet them at the ship as well.
I'll meet them there as well.
Okay. And you guys share information, or?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So I share that I went to the two locations that we were able to uncover that appear to be related to Kykbandirz, and both of them were locked. Too many people around for me to get in. The first was an office. Looking in, no people in the office, a number of terminals. Beyond that, nondescript. Second was an apartment, perhaps Kykbandir's apartment, nobody home, and also too crowded at this point to get in. Perhaps, certainly the office might be able to get in at night.
Well,
Okay.
so you're on a space station, so there's really no night per se.
That's true.
Yeah.
True.
There are ebbs and flows of people.
There are after
Yeah,
hours,
whenever
but
the
yeah.
ebb is, whenever the ebb is. That's true.
All right. What about you guys? You guys want to share what information that you guys got with the general?
Yes.
Captain Black just laughs. It's like, no. Well, we didn't find anything. We'll catch you later.
Bye.
Can I clue in the general about Shamira?
Well, that's up to you guys whether you want to share that particularly sordid story.
Well, you know, I might as well just say there's a lady named Shamira. She's working with the Ursay, and she wants to kill me, and she probably wants to kill the rest of us just for good measure. And
She wants revenge. It's not like she just randomly targets us for killing.
no,
What did you guys do to this woman that she wants revenge of?
This is the woman he fed the soup to before, remember?
And was the soup? Was something wrong with the soup?
The soup was fine.
well, we were
There's
trying
something wrong. There was a lot wrong with that.
Gentlemen, you got to give me more information.
Well, look, we were trying to find out more about the kidnappers. I was sure that she was hiding something. I was sure that she was manipulating me. Coffin Doyle, due to his background, he gets really upset if he feels he's being manipulated. He gets really upset. So he got upset with her, and he did an interrogation that was kind of rough, and we then had her locked up no gross stuff, just rough stuff, just hey, and but then she got sprung, and now she's out there.
You didn't get sprung, kid, though, did you?
Did I get sprung? No.
Okay, good to hear that. I don't
no,
know if I could work with you if you got sprung.
None of that stuff. No. None of that stuff. No.
All right, good.
Just
Picking on a lady though, that's bad news.
Well, she was a bad lady.
Yeah. You had suspicions, or you knew this for sure?
She was one of the group that had kidnapped the first scientist.
Got it.
And then ambushed us. We have since found out that she's actually second in command to that bad Ursay that escaped.
So she's second in command to Kykbandirz.
To Van Deer, yeah.
And you have no idea where she is at this point. Huh?
Right, but
we just found out where she was.
She's a high up in the ring of kidnappers. I was trying to find out more, and I was not especially successful. But then she escaped, and now she's probably gonna want to find me. Just a heads up. Anyway.
Well, young man, you got a shit show on your table.
Well, it's probably my problem. It's true, but if you're, it's just fair to tell you if you're.
I appreciate it. So
hanging around.
That may have had something to do with the little shootout we engaged in.
I'm actually not sure just how or if Shamira is involved in the shootout, but I do know that we are legitimately tracking a gang of kidnappers who do horrible things to good citizens. Big,
like yourselves, of course.
Big picture, large scale. We're working for the common good.
Well, I'll take your word on it. Is there anything like sense motive in this game, Les?
You could do like a
intelligence check.
Yeah, like an intelligence check.
All right, so let me see if I this is an intelligence check, not just on whether what he's telling me is true, but about Shamira, but
okay.
also whether they're working for the common good.
Okay.
Right.
Mama didn't raise no fool.
12. You feel that
really,
what
Doyle,
he's...
you needed me to tell that story because we would have sounded a lot better at the end of that story.
So you get the impression that he's telling you the truth, but it's very much a summary version. As for fighting on the side of good and that kind of stuff, I mean, this story in particular doesn't necessarily give you a lot of heart in the idea of like that this was. You get the impression from Doyle that this was something that he's a little embarrassed about.
All right. I'm sending you I'm sending you a private note. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. So you share information. What's next?
I actually would like to find out more about these kidnappers. We went to Bill's pub. We went to the place where Shamira and at least one Ursay were staying, or at least meeting. And I'm actually not sure what other clues we've got. I know that there's at least one Ursay who is escaping or who has made good his escape.
Well, he certainly doesn't seem to be around. I mean, if what the general says is he's been by Kykbandir's office and his home, and he doesn't seem to be. Nobody seems to be in either place. You guys went to that residential block, which was uninhabited. It was obviously being used as a hideout or a safe house of some kind. You're pretty sure Tremiro was there. Oh, and by the way, Tam, that material that you collected,
Yeah.
hair dye, fairly common hair dye.
Okay. Black.
Black.
And we're on a space station, right?
Yep.
And how many?
Greenport Station, a huge one.
Okay, so it's huge. How huge is huge? I mean, is it? And I'm sorry, Les. Is it space station? Is it a circling ring like in 2001?
It's more of the tower type space station. It has so the ring circles are for generating artificial gravity through using centripetal force. Graviton plates are an invention. So, I mean, you were able to generate gravity plates. So it's more of like the tower style of space station, but it's big. Probably 500,000 people live on this station.
Each level is very large.
Got it. Okay. All right. So, and is it free floating in orbit?
It's in orbit, actually, over over a planet in Greenport system. That it's in, I guess, maybe some sort of like geosynchronous orbit, something like that. The planet itself, I mean, you don't know much about it. It doesn't. The atmosphere is inconducive to
uninhabitable.
Well, you can inhabit it, and there's probably people who live down on the planet, but they would live in domes or underground in pressurized areas. The atmosphere is toxic.
It's not a heavily populated planet.
No, it is not. All the activity is above space. Greenport system.
Space mining or something. What is done in this system?
I'm sorry.
What is the reason for there being such a large station in this particular system?
This system, Greenport system, is very much a commercially focused system. So let me.
It's a good spot for jump gate.
Yeah, it's a good job. It's a good spot. Hold on a second, real quick. Let me do this real quick here. So I'm just going to show you.
I'm assuming there's got to be some kind of natural resources in the system.
Well, it does have a couple of gas giants. So for refueling, it has some significant fuel processing plants. Those are in the back half of the system. More in the inner planets is where you have this. Now the planets themselves are small. Those that have atmospheres at all have toxic atmospheres. But if you look at where Greenport sits, it is in an interesting sort of position from a commercial standpoint. So here's
it's more of a trading system.
It's basically a trading system. So yeah, so you have the Southern Salamini cluster, which has a lot of Terran goods and services, which are floating around out here. Then you have the Ursay, which are the latest of the sort of intelligent spacefaring races to come in. So Greenport in large part caters to the Ursay from a point of view of goods and services. But this is what really makes Greenport a place. So you're in your military background, you know that a lot of supplies going into the war zone between the Affront and the Kzinti come through Greenport. And Greenport also collects a lot of things and sends it back. So, that's why Greenport Station has such a large non-human population, is because there are Kzinti there. Obviously, you saw Kzinti at Bill's Pub. He's on the constabulary. There's
Ursay.
Yeah, and there are a lot of Ursay. So these three systems are basically Ursay space. Their real connection to the Terran, the Salamini cluster and Terran government and the rest of the spacefaring races is really through Greenport. And it's overwhelmingly commercial.
Yeah.
So they're just poised in a good position to bring commercial ventures not only to the Affront Kzinti war zone, but to the Ursay as well.
Yeah. But I thought, I mean, why would that, what value would it have over and above Calgary?
Well, Calgary is all overwhelmingly a military-controlled system. Being so close to the Kzinti there, it's really not commercially focused. And the Terran military is not, is desperately trying not to get in the middle of the Kzinti and the Affront. And they're also trying not to take sides.
Yeah, so from my standpoint, then Greenpoint, it's far enough away to not arouse suspicions about going through it, but close enough to get to where you need to get to if you're going to go to the hot zone.
Exactly.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So I would know both of these systems.
You would, and you would be very much aware of the idea of that the Terran military forces, the interstellar military forces, would probably use Greenpoint for surreptitious support activity for the Kazintia Front War, as well as civilian support. So. Although the Terran military has essentially said we're not taking sides in this, they're trying to broker a peace. The reality is that almost everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
On who should win that war.
And from what I know, that opinion and surreptitious alliances are with one of the two combatants, not the other.
Yes, that's correct. And you could probably guess, based on the position of Calgary, which of those two combatants they are.
Well, I would know this, but
yeah.
they could get.
Yeah, it's definitely the Tigers over the Bears, or Tigers over the front.
Yeah, but nothing has happened so far to this point that would require me to call in any kind of special stuff. So
No.
Yeah.
No, you're a much liked retiree.
Yeah.
Hey, but stick with us, kid. We can ruin your reputation in no
doing
time.
this because I'm curious, and never hurts to keep my old friends informed.
Good point. All right, so you checked out that Chimera is gone. There may have been Gazi was there on a couple of occasions. There may have been others there you don't know. But yeah, it was essentially cleaned out. And the guy said that they had left the day of the attack on Bill's Pub. So if you do the timelines, it looks like in the morning of Bill's Pub, at which Gazi was there, was when the people who were in 3659 left. Now that would have been probably 36 hours after Chimera escaped from the Gin and Tonic. Around there, 36 to 40 hours.
Okay.
I think we can case one of these places, or I don't know what else you want to try.
Well, Weber's flipping through Netflix with Gin. Does somebody let him know that a hardened killer's, disguised and might be out there looking for some payback? No, okay, got it. Thanks.
Didn't come up.
Yeah. And remember, Les, I'm waiting for the information to come back on the dump from the locks, from what happened with the locks.
Gotcha.
Yep. So, see if they can give me any info that might help me override it, or some idea of what's going on and what kind of technology it is.
Gotcha. Okay. Wack, you want me to just address it? You want me to write you a note, or do you want me to address it out loud?
I suppose you could just address it out loud and pretend you didn't hear this.
I can write the note while you guys figure out what to do next. All right.
Yeah, because they don't know about these locks. So.
I didn't hear anything about it.
No, I was just sharing with you sort of the general information about the two locations. This was strange.
Okay, so what next? What about, so there's a couple other places. Did you guys want to look at, so remember the timeline. So you're from 75 hours, he stayed pretty close to whatever this thing is.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm curious about these two locations here, which seem to be sort of set up to maybe protect these locations. Or maybe they're close safe houses, something like that.
I don't know, you want to take a look at them?
Those are not the two locations I was at, correct?
No, they are not. The locations that you were at are not on this map.
Not on this map.
Right.
Got it.
Is that dark orange, Les? Is that the light orange where it says 75 to 100? You use dark orange on the line?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Dark orange and the words looked really weird. It didn't. Sorry.
Gotcha. Okay.
All good. Just wanted to confirm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you could look at this from the point of view of day. So yesterday is the yellow line. You see, Gazi went to. He ended up at Bill's Pub.
Day before.
He stopped at the safe house, and then he went to what Tam would tell you was the drug house where Bill Narragansett and Big Bill were. Now, why he would be there, I don't know. 2 days ago, the day before that, he was at. It looked like he was essentially scoping out Bill's Pub, and then stopped and spent some time at the safe house, and then was in this place. So always he starts out at this location and comes back to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that appears clearly to be some kind of.
And that's the one that the general couldn't break into?
No, the general has not gone to any of these locations.
No, I have not. I went elsewhere. I went to the 2 locations that we uncovered. That I got another one.
Okay.
I think we need to check out the Hornet's Nest.
So
That's the Hornet's Nest, and we haven't been there yet. Yep.
3 days ago, he starts out at the Hornet's Nest. He goes to Bill Tiefling's, and then makes a loop and comes back to the Hornet's Nest. That's 3 days ago. And then 4 days ago, he starts at the Hornet's Nest. He goes to this location here. He then goes to this location here, and then he goes back to the Hornet's Nest.
I think we need to check these locations, guys, before we go to the Hornet's Nest.
Yeah, I guess so, but they are awfully close. I think if we started, I don't know, I get nervous that we're going to tip him off. And that was 3 days ago.
The blue, are you talking about the
It
blue line?
1, 2, 3, and 4 days ago.
4 days ago, sorry, then 4 days ago.
No, I mean, it was all those days. Every day is in that one spot.
Yeah, the only there was more data on there, but this was the only data that you were able to successfully encrypt. The rest of it is kind of
Yellow was yesterday, purple was 2 days ago, blue was 3 days ago, and orange was 4 days.
4 days ago. So he went there 4 days ago, which might, I don't know that we're going to get a lot of evidence out of that from 4 days ago.
Well, no, but we don't know what he was doing. I mean, he could have been going there to meet with somebody. We can see who it is.
Yeah, I do want to go see it. I'm just thinking we go to the Hornet's Nest first. I want to get him before he gets away, which may already be too late.
Yeah, but here, the problem you got here is if he's back there, chances are there's a lot of hearsay there. And
it may even be like,
unless you want to end up in another gun battle, which you've been told not to at this point. You know, and I say to the guys, I say, we got to be very careful here because next time something like this happens, I may not be able to protect you.
Understood. I think I still want to know what that building is. If that turns out to be like the embassy for the Ursay.
Oh, it isn't. I asked already.
Okay.
It's not. It's in a sketch. It's in sort of a sketchy, like warehouse kind of area.
Yeah, like an industrial park.
Park. Yeah, like that. So this whole area here is like an industrial park, you know, or at least right around it.
What does the rest of the crew think?
I would like to go check out these places.
Which one do you want to look at her?
I don't know what to do. I feel like I need more information. I want to, and I don't want to just stand around here being a target. So I'm ready to go out.
So how much longer do you think it'll be less before I get information on the lock?
About 15 seconds.
Okay, great. So then give me a minute. Give me a minute or two, guys.
Okay.
Fala Mogulis.
That's the order I'd like to investigate them.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
You writing on my map?
And is everybody going to come with this time? Do we take Weber Jix and
We take everybody.
Dr. Wagner?
Well, wait a minute though, because there may be something that at least I want to do, or maybe we want to do before. So.
Okay.
Just
All I was stating was my order of preference.
That's great. You know, sure.
Yeah. Any idea where it transmitted that data, Les?
No,
No.
no idea. It wasn't logged on your machine.
So this is just, I mean, it's not giving me much more than I knew already, right, from it?
Yeah.
All right. So I decide I'm going to tell the guys
Okay.
what I uncovered. So I said, gentlemen, I say, yeah, I didn't want to tell you this before because I didn't have much information, but both of the locations that I visited had extremely powerful locks that you only see used for counterintelligence and for disrupting intelligence gathering. There's got to be some meaningful information in these locations that could be helpful to all of us. Might I suggest we figure a way to get into these locations first before we go mucking around with what appears to be their headquarters?
Are those locations these right here?
No, they're not.
No, they're not on this map.
Okay. Can you share with us what those locations are?
Oh, well, are you asking the general?
I'm asking the general.
Yeah. Well, I said they appear to be Kykbandirz's office and his residence.
Where are
Office
they?
and residence, both highly
Both
sophisticated,
protected by very powerful security mechanisms.
Do you
Much
think you can
more
get us past
powerful.
those security measures this time?
We either get past the security measures or we can bust our way in.
Okay.
Getting past it might be tough, but maybe with Doyle with me, we might be able to do it.
When was the last time it was occupied?
Neither were occupied when I got there, and I saw nobody go in or out of either location.
Okay.
But clearly they were in use. Clearly the office was in use, and the apartment, I assume, is used on a regular basis.
Can we get a description of the locks in use so that we can keep an eye out for it for other locations?
Sure, but I mean, I assume there's a million locations on the station, so I'm not sure.
Okay, but we're about to go investigate
Well,
three
you're
different
gonna
locations.
you're gonna see them. You're gonna see the locks. So I've shared with you what I can share with you about the locks. You know, that they have counter intrusion measures. That they you know, I share that in trying to overcome them, they actually attacked my AI. He was able to fend them off easily, but that's very, very uncommon.
I think there's one place you guys should probably stop.
Is that the handbag?
There's probably one place you guys should stop before you go to that place. Bob's Burglary Barn and Bone Quarter at Carlsgard.
It's a steal.
It's a steal.
All right.
I mean, is there, given the information that I got, would we be able to find anybody who has something that could overcome these locks, Les?
I don't know.
Do I know
Maybe
a guy?
somebody knows a guy.
No, I do know a guy.
You know a guy?
I know a number of guys on this.
I'm busy doing a sniffer of cognac in my smoking jacket.
We may need something a little more powerful to get past these security mechanisms. Let me make let me reach out to a couple of people and see what they think.
All right. If you know a guy, you need to declare it and name him.
Meanwhile, Weber Jix has got his smoking jacket on. He's got his sniffer of brandy. He's talking to Jen, making some contacts.
All right. So you guys are thinking about before you go anywhere else, you're thinking about going to Kykbandir's office and home and try and break through these very sophisticated counterintelligence locks to get in.
Or are we waiting to hear from your Noah guy?
Yes. Oh, yeah. We could wait to hear from this guy because I think we may need more help, and I'm concerned.
Can we see if these three locations have similar locks?
Yeah. While I'm waiting to hear back from my guy, we could go to the one in number 1 and 2 maybe, but we got to be very surreptitious about it.
Okay. Is the whole group going to come?
I'm here for social engineering.
Probably a good
talking
idea
trash.
at this point because we can plan. Gentlemen,
I guess you guys need to look out.
we're gonna be wanting to watch. We're gonna be needing to plant a number of us around each location. Make
So put me in
sure
help.
nobody interrupts what you do.
Hey, I'm still down a body pistol. Does anybody have a spare? If I'm going out there on the street again, I don't really want to bring this shotgun around.
I've only got mine, and I'm keeping it.
All right, I recycled Eric's and I's. What's that?
I'm sure
Didn't
there's.
we get like 3 of them?
Yeah,
I thought
I'm
we
sure-
did. That's what I'm asking.
I'm sure on the Gin and Tonic there's some weapons somewhere.
Yeah, you just assume you took one of the 3.
I'm gonna equip myself with a body pistol, and I will sigh deeply and start putting back my regular street clothes.
Does
So
Dr.
if
Wagner
we
want
try
to come
any
with
of
this
these locks,
time?
we're going to compare them to the ones that the general found that were highly complex. I'm not going to try to hack one of those that matches that description.
Just out of curiosity, I mean, are these really? They knew we were coming. They locked these with their mechanism to try to scan us when we got there.
No. It wasn't specific to us. It looked like these are the locks. And anybody who tries the way they're going to scan, but they were not able to scan me. They tried it, but they couldn't do it.
But the one you tried to get in earlier logged that you tried it. So
Logged
if it
that
logged, somebody else
tried,
knows.
logged that somebody tried to get. Yeah,
Well,
but
somebody
they don't-
tried, yes. Yeah, but so just curious. I'm not sure that's a great location to go back to because if I was them, that's where I'd be standing around waiting for you to return.
This is a different location, is what I was looking at, though.
Well, that's why we got to scope it out when we go back,
Okay.
right? And maybe we don't want to go back to it right now. We might want to wait a bit. So,
right. Then Weber-Jix will dress low key this time. He won't wear his usual gaudy outfits.
Thanks.
I'll dress in my lookout clothes.
Are you guys ready?
Because your wardrobe choices were always the problem.
Yeah, well, I'm not there. No half capes today. Something with a hoodie. Yes.
No half capes.
Yes, definitely the low slung cap that I can pull down with my eyes.
Les?
Yeah.
I believe, if what I'm hearing is right, we all traversed this location.
Okay, hold on. I'm doing something real quick. Let me do this.
No, that's okay.
Are you hacking into the mainframe, Les? What are you doing?
Hacking the mainframe. No, I'm actually putting on here the 2 places that Captain Crusade, the general went to. So
Call me Jazz.
the Jazz went to. Yeah, that's probably the best thing. All right. So,
General, call me General.
all right.
All right.
Why did
Don't
I-
call me General Jizz.
Andrew, is Dr. Wagner going to come with us this time? Are you there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I told that if I show up, I'll get sandwiches and lemonade.
All right. So you see the circle?
Hey, Doc, bring your emergency kit because I could feel somebody
Yeah,
getting
maybe
shot
the
right up
healing
there.
would be better.
So you see the red circle and the red square up in the upper left corner?
Yep.
The circle is the office that Jazz found. The square is Kykbandir's apparent apartment.
So I just need everyone to sign releases beforehand
Where
because I'm
did you place
putting
it?
out a
Red,
Darwin Awards book.
what'd you say?
What was
I
that?
need everyone to sign releases because I'm putting out a Darwin Awards book.
Perfect. The circle is the office. The square is the residence.
Got it.
Okay. So those are the places that that Jazz went to. All right. So where are you guys going? This place
1 and
right here.
2.
1. Yep, that's 1.
I
Okay.
vote for the drug house
Want to hit the drug house first?
because I can make some money.
It's true.
What?
It's not that kind of drug house. Well, I suppose actually it might be.
Administering
we're-
drugs.
We're not knocking over dime store junkies. We're an intergalactic space, crusaders over here.
Space-
Yeah.
Still have to earn money.
We're space businessmen anyway. Legitimate space businessmen.
Intergalactic space mercenaries with a ship with basically
Intergalactic, planetary.
basically no weaponry in defense.
All right, so you guys go up there to this spot right here. This is so this location, you check it out and you compare it against your maps. That location is essentially a local pharmacy. Generally they do prescription drugs and things of that nature, but also a wide variety of sort of consumer goods. It's nondescript. It's a Walgreens.
As you might buy hair dye and first aid kits in.
They have that.
But that was 75 to 100 hours.
I recommend not breaking into it or anything like that at this point. Let's go to the second location.
Yeah.
Second location is a restaurant, a takeout restaurant specializing in Ursay food.
Okay. So quite possibly
Similar to the ones we found in the apartment?
Yes, actually. Good call.
I would like an Ursay steak.
Yeah,
I think
they come rare.
This might be
bloody.
Just takeout or delivery
on the plate.
Les, is this takeout or delivery?
Takeout.
All right, this might be a good place to stake out here, boys, because sooner or later they might pop back. I mean, they might have more than a broader diet, but if we're not ready to put a salt in the headquarters, this might be a good place to pick up to put somebody to tail, tail one of the coomers. I don't think we need to because we know where we're going. So
if you guys would allow me, I'd like to circle around the location number 3. Not do anything other than just circling around, seeing how heavy the traffic is.
They're not marked. Which one's location number 3? They're not marked on my map.
Headquarters.
Hornet's Nest.
The Hornet's Nest. Okay.
The one we found Gawker's body at.
Okay, so you're going to take just a general sort of circle around there and just very circumspect kind of thing.
Yep.
So you get to that place.
I'm Gawker here.
Okay, you're in Gawker mode. Okay, so anybody going with him? Or you always guys keep an eye on
anybody with them, or is he scoping?
Yeah. I've got my sunglasses on, my hoodie on, trying not to look attractive to any bears in the neighborhood.
They're all recognizable.
All right, the whole neighborhood is like an industrial park, right? There's various kinds of places. Some of them have signs. Some of them look like they have been long abandoned. You're using your lace to sort of coordinate the location with the map and make sure. And frankly, but when you get to where you think the Hornet's Nest is, you're like, this doesn't look right, because what you're looking at is a warehouse that's in fairly, to your eyes, a fairly disrepair. It looks abandoned. There's a lot of trash around it. Sort of
That's
pop
exactly
pallets,
where they would hide out.
lots of pallets and stuff like that.
To my eyes, it would look like the perfect kind of place to hide if you're doing these kind of things. To hide a headquarters. Who would think of it being there?
It looks abandoned.
Right.
But you're checking with Lace and you're checking with the map. This is the place that Gazi had started and stopped 3 of the 4 days.
Does he start and stop at around the same time each day?
No, different times. The timestamps are wild. Like, he gets back from Bill Tiefling's, it's mid-afternoon on the day that he cased Bill's pub and stopped off at the thing. He didn't get back until late at night.
Okay, I head back to talk to the rest.
Okay.
I don't want to be at any of those locations by myself. I did want to case it out without you guys because I could be nondescript. I think they have records of what we all look like normally.
Yeah, I don't plan to go quietly. I don't even like being out of the ship right now until we know why they want us so badly.
All right. So, do we have the information on the locks yet?
You look at, so you don't see any locks or anything like that on the
No, sorry, for the other locations. We were waiting for the general to get his information back.
Oh, he didn't. It's up to Josh. You want to?
You gotta hold on a minute. How do I do a private roll for you alone, Les? What's the
Don? How does that work? Roll the DM.
/W space GM space and then the formula.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Germany.
I wasn't certain.
As soon as you say all that, I'll be like, no,
It's /W.
Yeah.
So just while he's doing that,
No, that didn't work.
okay.
All right, it just said roll. I'll just do the roll.
All right.
Let me see.
So while he's doing that, I just want to let you guys know neither the Walgreens nor the takeout place had any sort of locks that Jazz would say were the same kind. They seem to have standard locks.
Not terrible. Okay.
All right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, social.
Yeah, into my programming day.
You saw that, right?
Monday.
The roll.
Yep. Okay, so doesn't the hornet's nest looks abandoned. The other places look mundane, for lack of a better term. I mean, there's still a couple of places that you can check before you hit if you want to enter. I mean, you guys could go into the hornet's nest if you want, check it out.
Why not?
He says, baiting the trap.
Dangling the fish in front of you.
I mean, yeah, I already suggested it, but now that you've said it, no, we're not going near it.
Come on, I can only have so many maps on this thing. I can only prepare for so many exigencies.
I'll go if you guys will.
I think
Well, I mean, there are other places
I go there. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, there are other places to check out if you want to check out.
Like what?
Do I?
We've checked those all out. We've got the generals ones that aren't on the map, but everything else here we checked out. We've been to Bill Tiefling's. You already told us about the drug house. Residential area.
Well, the last time you were at Bill Tiefling's was a while ago. This guy
maybe we should check in on Bill. Is that what you're saying? He might be dead.
Gazi visited Bill 3 days ago. You guys visited Bill later than that, like earlier than that.
Oh, we do. I thought that's what I was asking earlier. I thought we were going to
Gazi
go back to
set
that.
you up again.
Dead man.
Gazi may have set you up again.
What do you guys think? Go claim Bill's body?
Yeah, it might be time to go looking on Bill for Bill.
You guys want to go check out Bill's place?
Yeah.
Carefully check out Bill's place.
So you go in there and you guys remember he lives in a crappy apartment building. You get to his front door and it is even though it's closed and seems to be okay, it's unlocked.
Hello, Bill. Are you there, Bill?
So I'm here, right?
At Bill Tiefling's, right?
Yeah, I'm like.
Everybody is, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Let me. Actually, never mind. I'm not volunteering to go in first. I'm not heavily armored. Does anybody have actual body armor on? Just in case there's a trap here. Otherwise, I'll call out Bill. Bill knows who I am. Bill.
You know what?
Weber Jix again. Calling to have a little conversation with you.
I'll go.
There's no response from inside.
All right. I walk up to the door. I open it and peer inside. Is it dark?
It's dark. Yeah, no lights on.
All right. Is there I say lights.
How does it smell?
The lights come up.
Great.
Well, there is an aroma. It smells a little citrusy.
Okay.
A little bit like rot.
Little saffron, maybe a nice little oregano.
Okay.
No?
I look around. Is the place filled with Ursay and Shamira?
No. In fact, it seems to be empty. The smell's a little powerful.
Right.
Hold on, let me see this. The smell's a little powerful, but you don't see any people. You turn on the lights, and then you do see a person. It looks like somebody is face down on the on the kitchen table.
I say,
Oh no.
I say to my friends, all right, well, it looks like they whacked Bill Tiefling. He's
Make sure it's Bill first before we make any.
Well, we got Dr. Wagner with us. He can at least check out the body.
Sure.
he's
You got to do your bones there. You got to give us the he's dead, Jim. Come on.
um
Come on, Dr. Wagner. Don't let us down.
Damn it, I'm a doctor, not a taxidermist.
All right, I do the smell test.
Well, that's the smell of a dead person.
But
Well,
But
how
he hasn't
sure who
been
it is.
he hasn't been dead for very long. Probably a day.
so I can put him to work in my brothel.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's still juicy.
So yeah, I'll do an autopsy because he might have some gadgets that are.
All right, you pull back, and he's definitely Bill Tiefling is definitely dead. There
no
is a body pistol on the floor next to his right arm, and Dr. Wagner, give me a quick medical. Give me a medical check.
Oh, don't you trust me already?
Nope.
12.
Okay. You look very quick sort of examination. He's only been dead for about a day. But this looks like a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
That's interesting.
Even more interesting is that the table has a bunch of papers on it.
Ooh.
Oh, we better read those.
Burn
Look
them.
for our name. Look for our names on them.
Your names are all over them. If you look into it, there's a big sort of envelope, a big folio, which there's papers sort of scattered out, and it catches your eye because you see the name Weber Jix on one of the pieces of papers.
Yeah,
You kind of dig around in there. It's dossiers, essentially on all of you, not the general, but the entirety of the crew of the Gin and Tonic. It has a map of the Gin and Tonic on it.
oh my god.
It has the docking bay. Now this is handwritten. The dossiers are obviously computer generated printouts. The map of the Gin and Tonic, same. But there's a handwritten piece of paper in there that says the name of the docking bay where the Gin and Tonic is blocked, and it says under that needs to be done before, and if there's a date that's 2 days from now.
Okay.
So yeah, we
We
need
should
to make
move
sure
over
all
just
that
one
goes
docking bay.
Let's call somebody dial up Jin real quick. Just let him know what's up, so he can be.
All right, you can reach Jin on Neural Ace.
Yeah, so we'll just tell him what we found and to be ready for anything, and we mean anything, and until he hears from us. I think we should take all of this information with us. This doesn't sound like if the police aren't already on their way, this does not sound like a job to call Bill Scaramuccian just yet until we understand. Is this something he created for a job, or is this like a frame up right here? Because that's what it feels like to me.
It is like a frame up for sure. That's what we need to make sure.
So he's trying to put our necks in a noose.
Outside one more time.
So the gun is a body pistol with a silencing unit on it, and it holds a magazine of 8 shots, and a quick check shows that one of them is gone. So there are 7 bullets in the magazine.
Well, yeah, it doesn't seem to me.
Can we figure out where that one bullet went?
I don't know. How much time have you got?
Stone cold who done it?
Well, I'm going to do a med check and tell you it was in his cranium.
Well, there's no exit wound. So there's an entry wound, but no exit wound. So if he shot himself, which it looks very much like he did, then that bullet is still inside his head.
I'm looking
I'll
really.
stick my finger in there and see if that's true.
If we take it out, he'll be fine then, right?
Well, just out of curiosity, if we're leaving his body like it is, maybe playing with it isn't the best idea.
Yeah, we want to leave it here.
Not the papers.
Wagner, you feel around inside of the wound, and you do actually feel the bullet. It's about 2 inches inside of his head, which to those of you of military bent would indicate a low velocity round, which would enhance the ability of the silencer.
A silencer.
It's got a silencer
okay.
unit attached to it.
A silencer that is not currently attached to said body pistol.
No, it is attached.
the guy killed himself with a silencer attached.
He didn't want to draw a lot
He
of attention.
wanted to disturb his neighbors.
He's so
Very
considerate.
thoughtful in his suicide.
Yeah.
Well, remember that green print has a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
By the way, I take prints off the gun with, I got a kit. I take prints off the gun. I take prints off the dead body.
Okay.
And I compare them.
Okay.
Honestly, General, you should turn us in right now for the reward money, because even I'm starting to suspect you.
2 sets of prints on the gun. One of them is Bill Tiefling's, and it was his finger on the trigger. They found his print on the trigger. There's another set of prints, non-human.
Little bearish, maybe?
Ursay do not have fingerprints in the traditional sense. So there are other oils on there, but it's not a fingerprint. It's something else.
That other thing you saw, that is a print, the other print, or it's something else?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's Bill Tiefling's prints are on the trigger, on the handle, on the hammer, on the barrel.
And you said though the other prints were not
Non-human.
but
Not really
they
prints, but
are
residue.
prints. They are prints.
Yes, they would be indicative of that somebody non-human handled the gun, but they were not on the trigger. Those
Could we tell what kind of non-human?
It's consistent with an Ursay.
Okay, but not on the trigger.
But not on the trigger.
Anything else?
It does seem like it confirms that Bill maybe shot himself.
But not a chance,
he was helped in it.
Yeah.
Not a chance that it was planted.
So I'm going to look
possible.
at the corpse's hands and see if there's any gunpowder residue or things that would indicate.
Remind me, we tossed his place when we hit him the first time. Did he have a body pistol? Because I don't remember him having any weapons.
No, he didn't have anything like this. And frankly, a silencer, very illegal.
Yeah. I'm kind of envious of the silencer. Man, it's a cool silencer.
And an Ursay pseudo print on it.
Well, you now have a silencer, Matt.
I say, this guy didn't kill himself. I've seen this in a million movies.
I think he did kill himself under the tutelage of someone there.
Yeah, someone who knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Could be.
Dr. Wagner?
Perhaps he was killed some other way. And,
Yes. Are there any gunpowder on his fingers?
So there is gunpowder. So you do a quick chem test. There is gunpowder residue on his right hand and his right wrist.
Any other injuries that we can see on his body?
He does have some faded bruising, but Weber, you remember he got clocked by Bill Narragansett, remember, at the CD Stacy's.
And by Commander Chief Doyle, as I recall.
And I
He
think
wasn't
Doyle
having a
hit him
good
once
day.
He
too.
knew us. He's been beaten up.
His last week of his life was not a good one.
So he has some bruises on his face that are fading. They're not fresh. Beyond that, if you want to make a more complete medical examination, you'd have to do it at the Gin Tonic in the med lab.
Any information on? Is there like a registration number on the gun? Anything like that?
No, nothing like that you can see. In fact, most of the registration numbers were the normal spots where registration numbers would be. There are no numbers on it. This is
filed off.
Yeah, well, not filed off, just non-existent. This is a very clean gun.
I'm a mixed emotions on this gun. It's the kind of this is a gun we could use. Silencer certainly we could use, but this is also a murder weapon, and walking around with it doesn't seem like a really good idea.
Especially
I don't have any
since it
qualms
seems like it
about
was
the
a setup.
silencer.
Free gun.
Free
I will
gun.
definitely
I
take
think
the.
Dr. Wagner always
definitely
brings
take
the
the silencer.
pragmatic. He's always a pragmatic.
Gun.
Free gun.
Free gun. Yeah, just put a little sign on the table here. Thanks for finding my body. Free gun.
By the way, Les, you remember what I said before about the party?
Yes, I have that. We will have to talk about that at a future point.
Okay.
Okay. If Dr. Wagner's done licking, sniffing, poking the body, and we feel like we
Wagner
everything
will
else
say
out
there's
of
some
here.
bruising on the face that's consistent with having been beat up a couple of days ago a little bit. Other than the obvious head wound, which is consistent with suicide. There doesn't seem to be any other obvious wounds on
Do
him.
I sense that he has any major organs that are harvestable?
Okay. Well, after a day,
Why do you want to harvest his organs?
Some organs are okay sitting out for a few days.
It really disturbed me.
Skin.
skin, yeah, I guess. I'd have to look into that. I don't know how long you can harvest an organ after death.
I didn't know we had a Bundy in the group.
Yeah. Like,
Dr. Wagner is a ship's doctor. He has +6 medical, but he's a ship's doctor for a reason, and we were not going to go into the reasons.
I have dirt on the captain.
No, your guess is that the organs would not be viable after more than 20 hours. I mean, he's gone through rigor and come out of it. So,
but anybody's aged steak knows
They're basically gelatin at this point.
yeah, he's rapidly decomposing.
anybody who's aged a steak knows that this is perfect time now to harvest and start cooking. So
Well,
get to
Mark,
it, Dr. Wagnall.
Yeah.
Little
I
Peter
agree.
Luger's 28-day aged here.
Dry aged. Yeah.
Right.
So what are you? So you guys are at a crime scene now. It's so the silencer. So you guys remember that Greenport Station has a shot spotter system. So and it is viable in the residential areas, as you guys have found out. So the silencer would have kept the cops from coming here immediately. Is something that you would recognize. Because otherwise, if somebody fires off a round, the shot spotter system goes off, and then they dispatch the first robots, and then human or creature constables.
I say to the crew, gentlemen, probably not a good idea to let the cops know right now, because possible somebody will tip off the Ursay.
Good thing you're here, General. We wouldn't have figured that one out.
No, but
still sage advice.
But at some point, I'm going to have to let them know.
Okay, well, welcome to being implicated with us, and I think
I'm not
make you a
worried
member of the
about
team
that,
now,
boys.
right?
I'm not worried about that, boys.
Alrighty.
That's something you guys have to be concerned about, not me.
Yeah.
Well, I think the other thing you guys notice is that Gazi was here 3 days ago. According to Wagner, this guy's been dead. Bill's been dead about a day.
Interesting.
So there's a
timing
differential.
worked out.
How long is our little friend who that escaped from our ship been gone?
She escaped day before yesterday.
Yeah, so she's my prime son. Well, no, we have Ursay on here, so no.
I think it's the Ursay. I think it's Van Deers, yeah. But
Yeah, it's
the
one of his
timing worked out.
boys.
He was
It
here a
could be
day
one of the
ago.
other. It could be one of the others, right? Anybody they could send over to be a hitman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got people.
Gentlemen, I hate to say this. It's midnight here. This kid has got a early day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do we want to stop it here and
Yeah.
resume?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Thank you.
I really wanted to shoot somebody, but we'll just
Yeah,
have
me
to
too.
wait.
But
I need to get in line for voting.
If Dr. Wagner's done defiling his body, I think we can call it.
This is a lot of fun. I wish we could do it more than once a month. I love the role-playing aspect of it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah, this game is more about storytelling and role playing than it is about the actual game.
Die rolling and
That
stuff.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we're all seasoned traveler players, knowing that if you pull your gun out, you have a good chance of dying.
Right. Yeah.
There's not a lot of forgiveness in this universe.
This is true. Yeah. I keep playing Coffin like I do my character Wolf, which is not very smart.
Yeah, you're gonna have a short lifespan, my friend.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, you're
yeah.
security chief. You're point of the spear, man. That's gonna get you hurt once in a while. Don't kick yourself over being
Yeah.
tough.
That's why we got you the red shirt to wear.
That's right. Anyway, gentlemen, thank you. Lots of fun. Great to see you all, and wishing you a peaceful week.
Likewise.
Good
Have a
night,
great
everybody.
week, Eric. Thanks,
night.
everyone.
Take care.
Hi, all.
So,
Yeah.
Good
Thank
John
you,
to-
guys. I'll see you on Friday, right?
Yeah, for the one shot.
See you guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
Friday.
And Josh, I'll reach out. I'll reach out about that thing.
Awesome, buddy.
All right.
Think of a thing about the man with the horse, you know.
Yep. All right. Talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thanks all.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.